but it might be fun if we did. Oh, we don't gotta get wasted. Welcome to the show, but it might be fun if we did. CTV is behind the mic.
Well, a lot of fun is about to be had, man. We are here live and in person. We've got Michael DeMercurio, mate. How you going?
Hey, good to be here.
So good to have you. We got Supersonic. Redhead, how are you going tonight?
Excellent. How are you doing?
Yeah, better than I deserve. Totally stealing that from Dave Ramsey, I must admit. So I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I'm glad that our schedules, or as our British friends might say, our schedules, have synced, man. So to talk about things Submarine, the world, the novels, the knowledge that you have, I think it's going to be a really fascinating discussion. And I just want to welcome everyone on X and on YouTube. If you guys post a comment, I can see it and we can pop it up on screen. Just look at my beautiful comment of welcome, right? So we're happy to include those in the chat as we go along. We want to make it one of those deals, man, where we have a conversation, but it's a fireside chat as well. So for those that may not be, in the know, my man here has written a couple books. I think you're on, I don't know, 15 at this point?
I think we've got 13 officially published. 14 is in editing now by Supersonic, and 15's about maybe 120 pages in.
I cannot hear him.
Okay.
No.
So I'm hearing Red say she cannot hear you. Interesting. So maybe what I can do is bring her back up to stage. Maybe she can try and leave and come back. Sorry for the technical difficulty. We started a bit late, but we'll work through it. StreamYard, do your thing, man. Well, hopefully that's a thing that we can get fixed here. So anyways, Mike, we're glad that you're here, man. You've got a lot of experience in the Navy writing novels. So for those that are curious about the military or that whether you're about other things, right? Like the military, submarine community, authorship, you've got a wealth of experience. So I don't have any particular direction that I need this to go, but I was wanting to know, what is it that fascinates you most? And you have what motivates you to do what you do?
Well, I like the characters. I think the character study is one thing that drives me. I think the other is international politics and my extrapolation of how bad things could be internationally. I was thinking about the other day about villains, and for the most part, there's really no villains in my book except the sea itself and the politicians who kick off all this awful stuff.
Well, I mean, to be fair, man, the sea for decades, for millennia, right? It's been a great villain. When we look at the Odyssey, especially that movie that's come out, there's other things, right? Like it's Master and Commando. I did a watch party not long ago with that. Something to be respected. And we talked, Davy Jones Locker is part of the Navy, right?
Right.
Song, right? So, I mean, it's part of the world's culture to be respected. You can go into the Black Sea and you can go 25, it's a time machine. The bottom of the Black Sea, there's not life to eat away at the wood. So you can find 2,500-year-old Greek shipwrecks, that claimed those lives. So it's a story kind of as old as time, but you're setting it in a modern set, time frame of us, right? Submarines. And how cool is that?
Well, I think it's I think when I reread what I've read, I think it's very cool. The adventure of taking a submarine down below the waves is something that I think people need to see from the point of view of an insider. What is it really like to dive a submarine and hear the hull creaking around you and the moaning and groaning of it? I mean, being inside a submarine as it goes deep is like being in a haunted house. It's frankly terrifying.
Well, let me ask you about that. Before I do, though, Red, did you want me to? Can you hear Michael now?
I can perfectly. Thank you.
Awesome. Nice. So you mentioned it's like being in a haunted house. And I got to say, right, like submarines are probably not my bag. They're not my bag, baby. I like being above the water, or if I'm below the water, it's like on a ship below the waterline and I'm like okay with it. So, without saying anything classified, um, what can you say about the depth of a submarine and kind of paint that experience, man, that picture? Because you can't. It's not like there's a camera outside. There's not like a porthole. You're looking, right? You're robbed of some senses
Right.
here.
Right. Yeah, I think lately there's been some unclassified supposition that test depth that we could go to is about 1,300 feet. There was one submarine, a diesel boat, the Dolphin, that was made to be able to go to 3,000 feet, but it had a hull that was like 3 times as thick, which meant it was a lot slower. What we were doing had a hull that was about 2.5 inches thick, almost three. And that was high yield 80 steel. Now we're making hulls out of high yield 100 psi steel, and it's the pressure of the deep is immense. One thing people like to do is to string a guitar string or a chain really tight between the midships frames, which typically for our class was in the torpedo room. So when you're on the surface, you can string that guitar string from port to starboard, and it's so tight that you can strum it. But when you get down to test depth, it's sagging about 4 or 5 inches because the hull is just compressing from the deep.
So, as you're saying, right, like I'm doing things on the fly because I am doing my best to be the most amateur excellence in broadcasting. And keep talking for just a minute. I'm trying to find a down Periscope. There's a scene where they're like the saltiest, mechanic around. He actually ties the rope. So I'm looking for that YouTube video to give people a visual of that. That's I mean, it's pretty incredible when you think about the pressure of how deep that is. I don't know how many people that are listening are like scuba divers, right? But it's no joke. People that go dive down and they do deep water welding, the diving bells, like there's a whole process for coming back up.
Well, the beginning of the movie Das Boot has a scene where they're diving and the hull is compressing and you hear the shrieking and popping and banging. And the journalist who's never dived on a submarine before, his eyes are like, hard-boiled eggs. He's like terrified. And one of the officers who's schooling him on what's going on is like talking about how an egg gets compressed, and if they go too deep, boom.
And the fact that you're down there, it takes like a mental fortitude, right? It's not lost on anybody because we'll talk about everyone that goes into a submarine, there's an escape. It's part of the training, right? You got to let air out of your lungs and float up, and it's the whole thing. Pressure.
All that escape training is just for the moms, because it's really only to a couple 100 feet. I mean, the odds are that you do a real submarine escape are virtually zero. You've got to bear in mind that the ocean bottom is usually about 2 miles beneath your sneakers. And Oof. you'll be nothing but a couple of nuts and bolts by the time you get to 2,000 feet. So,
well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because didn't expect it, just to talk about this, but you actually have, I was looking at this comment by Jason here, the mini sub, right? It was carbon fiber, the one that went down to the Titanic, right?
Oh, don't get me started on that.
And they went,
man.
There's, for people that don't know, this is unclassified, but like, can countries hear something that happens underwater? Big time, right? So chances are everyone knew, except for the news. It took a while for it to leak out, like, this kind of happened. So, I mean, they didn't even realize what had occurred when that sub, the mini sub, whatever we're calling it, exploded. But that's like a perfect example of hubris and arrogance and pride gone wrong. And what's weird to me is the people that went down in that sub, and I want to get what you have to say for sure. But the people that go down in the sub, again, there's no porthole. You're not looking out a window onto the Titanic. You're looking at a computer screen. Dude, you might as well be in India on the internet looking at a computer screen and you're seeing the same thing. So I guess it's the thrill of like having gone down, the adrenaline junkie in people. Not really sure, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I think the thrill of it is just being able to say that you went down there. Oh, Supersonic is saying that she got kicked into the lobby here.
Yep, no worries. Brought her back up.
Okay, good.
Supersonic, are you there?
The trouble was,
I am. Thank you.
Awesome.
there
Thank
you
you.
are. Yeah, the trouble was first of all, they didn't have the right people designing and testing that submersible. The founders' famous "I don't want any 50-year-old white guys" was, an apocryphal statement about why this thing failed. You can't take a bunch of college graduates who have no experience with the sea or submergence, craft together a mini submarine. It's insane. They never tested it adequately. And the thing about it is, even if a submersible like that can make it all the way to 11,000 feet and back, that's one cycle. And fatigue happens over many cycles. And a fatigue failure causes a crack that rapidly propagates. And that's what happened to them. They had a fatigue crack and it just completely eradicated any hull integrity. And then the sea rushes in. And they say it was over in about 100th of a second.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully they didn't even know what happened, right? Like you just smushed. So now along the Titanic wreckage, you've got that wreckage, which is sad, but people in 50 years are going to go down and be like, well, this happened. I think it went down a half dozen or a dozen times, maybe a little more. But people were warning about it the whole time. And for those of you that don't know, Michael he's went to MIT for mechanical engineering, right? Heat transfer, all that. So he knows what he's talking about, along with like, oh, by the way, just having been on a sub for my career. So mad props, and the guy knows what he's speaking on as we talk about this. So I want to make sure that people understand your education, as it were.
He's also a diver. Michael, you should tell them that you're also a diver and a few other things. You actually have jumped out of a plane.
I did go to Navy dive school, and I was the chief diver of our submarine at the time. And that was kind of funny because our main task was, before getting underway, we'd have to swim around the hull to make sure there were no bombs or sabotage. And it was kind of ridiculous because usually the water was so brackish you couldn't see anything. And, when you get to the reactor compartment, you're supposed to swim 10 feet away from the hull. Well, if you're 3 feet away from it, you can't see it. And how do you know when you're at the reactor compartment? So we just blew all those rules off and tried to crawl the hull. If you really did that job adequately, it would take 5 or 6 hours, and we were given about 20 minutes. So, a lot of things in the Navy are pro forma.
Absolutely. Well, people don't know, or they maybe do, but the Navy actually has a pretty damn impressive record when it comes to nuclear power and nuclear energy. For instance, when Fukushima in 2011 lit off in the carrier spaces, so few particles went into that intake that lit off alarms. But yet it's been making fission for however many decades. It's quite impressive. Submarines, carriers, gotta love the infinite hot water on carriers, by the way. Just gotta say that, put that out there for that reason instead of small boys. Nice. But maybe don't think, gee whiz, there's nuclear reactions happening within this many feet of me. Let me think about anything else.
Oh yeah, I mean the neutron radiation alone, a lot of people were convinced that we would only have daughters. I was fortunate because that wasn't true of me, but a lot of guys only had female offspring because of it. Or maybe it's not a proven, correlation, but it seemed to be
Man,
the
I kind of
anecdote.
want to ask Grok. It feels like it's a wives' tale, but I don't know. I'm not learned enough to know. That's funny that's a
But
thing
yeah,
now. So
the real
let's
problem of a submarine is not so much the radiation, it's the atmosphere. It's a really terrible atmosphere. There's very high carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, low levels of oxygen. Let me put it to you this way. If you try to light a cigarette after being at sea for a week, you can't get your lighter or your match to make a flame.
Yo, that is wild.
And
Um,
about 36 to 48 hours after you shut the hatch, all the flies slow down so much that you can just reach out and grab one. And then
I've
about
never
a day
heard that.
later, they're all
No shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so
It's just a
cool.
terrible, terrible atmosphere. And the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide make you very drowsy. So
Interesting. So on X, Ella says, my dad served on a nuke sub for several years, late 79s through mid 80s. He's got some stories. Wish he could be listening tonight. My dad had only girls. Well, okay, so there may be something. There may be something to this, mate.
that's right. It's anecdotal, but maybe it's true. You don't know.
I mean, it's hard to prove a negative, but so far, I feel like we're batting 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. So, did anybody like pretend to be Mr. Miyagi with the chopsticks and grab a fly? And
I never
that
saw
moment of
that, but you could definitely do it easy.
Oh, that's crazy. So, is it true that Submarine is now? Let's. I love talking submarine culture, which I know I have very like cursory, information on. It's in the U.S. it's Submariner. Everywhere else is Submariner. But also like it's a very tight knit community. You got to get your pin before you can do anything else like free time. What would be other like cultural things that would be interesting for people to learn about that world?
Well, here's something Supersonic knows. There's no complaining or whining on a submarine. They tell you that the very first hour you've reported aboard. Reason being that it's contagious. Submarine duty is so harsh that if one person starts whining and moaning and complaining, it'll ripple through the whole crew. Before you know it, you've all gone stark raving mad.
So it's like one bad apple spoils the bunch, eh?
Stoicism is the rule of the day. You just suck it up. There's no alcohol. There's no weekends. There's no, nights off. You have duty or watch every single day for 110 or 140 days in a row, no days off, no bourbon, no beer, no girls, no nothing. Maybe you get the occasional movie, but by about 20 days in, you've seen every movie we've got aboard. You get popcorn.
Yeah, but you guys get paid an extreme amount of money in bonuses for that reason.
Well, yeah, but when you're under, you don't really think about that. You just think about the fact that you haven't slept in 3 days.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about hot racking.
Well, we kind of were lucky enough to avoid that for the most part. I mean, the most junior enlisted aboard have to hot rack where, you share a bunk with somebody and you're in the bunk while the other guy's on watch, and then you switch off. And if you're really unlucky, you're sharing that bunk with 2 other guys. But if you have enough bunks aboard, it's not so much a problem. But yeah, that's one of the things we do to our very junior enlisted to motivate them to get promoted and get their dolphins and to kind of move out of that torture.
Don't they also sleep in the torpedo room?
That's where the hot racking happens. And the torpedo room is no place to try to get sleep because it's loud. People are talking, people are working out. It's sort of the unofficial happy hour on the boat.
Okay. Actually, that's a great point. On a submarine, how do you stay fit? How do you stay in standards knowing that you've got a PT test when you breathe in fresh oxygen again?
Well, before they had treadmills, I would go back and run in place between the main engines, and today my knees are such that they remember that. But now we
Hmm.
have treadmills, and you can run on it. But you've got a big crew. You've got 120 or 130 people, and maybe two treadmills. So trying to get a half hour on a treadmill is difficult.
I imagine rank may have its privilege with that.
Oh yeah, if the captain wants to use a treadmill, everybody gets out of the way.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when I was on the carrier, there was a submariner that was visiting or whatever, and he came into the wardroom and he had an air of disgust about him because of all the space that was wasted. It seems so odd. I get it, but it's like, mate, there's no reason to like get your knickers in a twist. You're not on a sub, but man, you could tell it like fucking irked him.
Oh yeah, that's one way you can tell a good submarine movie from a bad one, because on a submarine, every cubic inch is taken up with something. Every single cubic inch. The broadest passageway might be maybe 2.5 feet wide, and that's Broadway. It's all you can do to get to walk through it.
That's yeah, space is at an absolute premium, and it's this cylindrical. Like if you've ever seen a house that's a circle, it's like there's no furniture that's designed for, for that. It's all square or rectangle. But on a sub, like everything is premium, every space. But I hear the food is good. Is that something that is a wives' tale, or is that like, yeah, no, it's actually pretty doggone good? Because like you're down for however long, you gotta at least enjoy chow. Is that true?
Yeah, we have the best food in the military, frankly. It's the trouble is after about 20 days at sea, you run out of everything fresh. So there's no salad, there's no greens, there's nothing that's grows out of the ground. It's all something that comes out of a can. But our mess specialists figure out a way to make what their menu is absolutely delicious every meal, and it becomes a problem when it comes to weight. We've heard tell of more than one chief petty officer on a ballistic missile sub on a patrol who ate too much and couldn't get out the hatch. Kind of like the Winnie the Pooh story when Winnie the Pooh was stuck in that hole in the tree. And he
Wait a
had
minute,
to
hold
stay
on.
aboard for he had to-
How long of a period of time did they eat, but they couldn't squeeze the fat ass through the hatch?
Well, that's the thing. A ballistic missile sub will go on a patrol for 60 days and then have a 30-day refit. And so he
God.
had to diet, hoping that in 30 days he'd be able to get out of the boat, or else he would have to go to sea again for the next 60, even though that wasn't his duty.
Holy shit! How many calories a day are you packing? Wow, that's
You
wild.
could easily take in 8,000 because there's 4 meals a day. And the trouble with it is in that small an environment where the air is recycled, if the galley is frying something, hamburgers or steaks or whatever,
Oh, that's all
that
you smell, isn't it?
aroma goes through the entire boat, and
Oh man.
you're like that cartoon character floating on the aromas until you get to the
Yes.
table.
Oh, dude, I didn't. Okay, yeah. So all you're doing is just, you're down below, and I gotta think that everyone's human. Everyone may be eating their feelings a little bit,
Yeah, yeah, I think
right?
that's
Like,
that's
this sucks. I'm gonna have this delicious, fucking dessert or whatever. Because yeah, what people may or may not know is there's breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then mid rations or mid rats, right?
right, right. And
Same. So depending on the watch,
mid-rats are great. They're my favorite.
what did you like getting on mid-rats? What was your go-to that you would order?
We had really good chili and cornbread. The cornbread they make is fresh. It's amazing.
Really?
During the midwife, they'd make fresh homemade donuts. Anything that was cake or pie was homemade right there. It was just truly amazing. It was,
Do you see this?
fortunately, we were in our 20s. We could go for an 8-mile run and try to get some of that off. But, and that's the thing. Submarining is a young man's or person's duty. You really are not
Yeah.
doing that beyond your 38th year on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, as you get older, the sand settles differently, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, if you can see it, I've pulled up this comment. And Red would love to hear from you. If you want to interject at any moment, feel free, of course. But lol, Jason says, so modern subs should go to sea with the Ozempic.
Well,
That's
yeah.
hilarious. I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
Modern problems demand modern solutions. I mean, Supersonic and I were just talking the other day about how you can get LASIK surgery and be qualified to fly a fighter jet for our good Air Force friends. Something like this might be.
Wait, it's no longer PRK. They can get LASIK?
There is a certain surgery. I don't know exactly what it's called now. My son just had it done last year, and he's an EOD, but it's some kind of surgery. It's a newer one. And yeah, you do not have to have 20/20 vision or even 20/15.
Well, I know that you've got LASIK, you've had PRK, which Navy pilots would take. But then I've also learned in the last year there's been a development of an eye treatment where there's no cutting of it, but rather they put something up to your eyeball and it softens your cornea. I think it's some sort of magnet or electricity. It doesn't hurt. It's non-invasive, but it makes your cornea malleable. So they put a lens that would like make your instead of whatever you would wear as a contact lens, they make your cornea that shape. So then they remove and then your cornea firms up over time. I just watched it maybe the other day. So there's a few things that's going on, but that's really great because if you don't have to, if you can get your eyes corrected, that was always a prohibitive thing for so long, eh?
Oh yeah, that was the biggest deal. I mean, there was a lot of people who would have been fantastic pilots, but they just could not get to the vision that they needed. And the latest pilot that I know that did it, he was 20/20 one eye, 20/15 the other. Really good. I mean, the results are fantastic now. I just like the fact that so many more people have the opportunity to fly.
No, it's great. And technology, man, like as far as joints, what's being able to be done, as far as like, okay, stem cells. I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan Experience, and that guy, Ways to Well, he's tapped into like the latest shit. And it sounds like everything's really on the cusp. Like he had a torn rotator cuff and he had stem cells shot in his shoulder. And his surgeon, the guy that wanted to cut him open, is like, I've never seen this happen before, but it healed. So there's like a lot going on that's recent to, what a time to be alive, right? If we look in the last 1,000 years or even last 100, we are so benefiting from cool shit, but also sub technology. Again, not my strength. That's why we have Mike here. Thanks for being here again to talk about this and the culture. It's so fascinating because it's one of those things. Like I feel like we're getting a peek. I'm going to use an illustration, a peek down the hatch, right? Like I'm sure there's things, right? Like no civilian's going to know or non-submariner is going to know, and that's cool. So, but what can we know? What is cool to know? And that's a little bit out of the norm. I think maybe of what you normally talk about, which is fun as well. Because I think it's important for people to understand, we talk about thank you for your service, thank you for your sacrifice, got it, thank you for your support, and family members make it. But submariners, man, you're not seeing sun for, X amount of days. Although I'm very jealous, I've talked to enough that tell me that until they bob to the fucking surface, they don't shave, and I'm in. Don't post on Facebook, but they do that. And I'm like, that's awesome.
I shaved at sea because, if I go too long, I look like a homeless bum.
Well, we're not talking just about you, mate. We're talking about that's a perk, but also they mentioned that the skin kind of turns a little greenish because of the recycled air. Is that? Can you explain that to me a little more? It's more of a passing comment I heard.
I don't know that I agree with that one. I don't think I ever saw anybody with greenish, but you bear in mind that just about everything you look at is this puke green color, the same color they paint the walls in a mental institution. And I don't know why it's like that. The panels are gray, but it's like everything else is this like greenish thing. And after a while, you get so tired of that color. It's supposed to be, for crew psychology, but I think it goes the opposite way. And that might be part of why somebody might report that people look green. It's the, the fluorescent light hitting that green paint.
Oh, fluorescent lights. I understand, man. So looking at the comment, Ella says, my Navy told my dad, yes, we've all heard this. If we wanted to have your wife and kids, we'd have issued one in boot camp. Is how that goes. And that's true. But I got to say, the modern military is doing a better job these days than that's a fairly old school. Like the Navy's throwing a ton of resources and resiliency in helping people, like teaching them, family like it's not even the same as I would argue as 10 years ago. Still being in watching kind of the change in things. So I'm heartened by that, but that is definitely one of those things that has been an idiom. No, that's what hold on. That's what they told my mom. That's that. To be honest, that does sound very 80s.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, that sounds very 40s. That's the 40s thing.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's traditions you want to hang on to, but then there's also traditions you're like, oh, maybe it's good that because the Navy, right? Like if the Navy hangs its hat on tradition, my God, like NavFit 98 is still a thing. I'm like, it's gonna be a forever thing because it's this long. Been in service this long, it's going to be tradition just to keep it. Not because it's a superior software program for fit reps, but because it's just fucking old. They're going to add it to the verse 4 of the Navy fight song. So, all right. I've had you gave me some pictures of you. I'd love to get a little background if you'd like to share with us. You should see it now. It looks like you're on some sort of talk show. Can you give us a little background on what we're seeing here?
Yeah, that was in 2005. The Russian submersible AS-26 was trapped in a bunch of cables. It was a deep diving submersible. I think it had 7 souls on board, and it was wrapped around a cable at the bottom of the sea. And Putin was keeping Western rescue efforts away from trying to help.
I remember that. Holy shit. And, Red, do you recall this as well, or is it just me?
No, I recall. I do remember this. And when I saw this picture, I saw the video. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember. And oh my gosh, that was crazy. It was really interesting when he told the story. But continue, Mikey.
That was the problem. Because we're all like, sorry, one sec. I was just like, the fact that they weren't accepting help, that was what bewildered so many. And I think that you're going to dial in. Please continue.
Well, my whole spiel was that 5 years before, when Kursk went down, the 28 or so surviving sailors could have been rescued by U.S., British, or NATO forces if we were invited in to help. And instead, Putin kept all those, non-Russian forces away, and everybody died. On this one, I literally went in and I insulted Putin, and I told him to man up and accept Western help to save these 7 guys. And I kept ramming that idea home. And by the time I'd made the rounds on Fox News from Friday to Sunday, I think right after that, Putin said, "Okay, we'll accept Western rescue efforts," and they, it was a Western submersible that went down and got those guys out, got them disconnected from the cable that was trapping them, and they all survived. So, yay me!
Well,
No,
and
that's
that's a very Russian attitude, right, Michael? I mean, that is how they roll. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we are everything, and we don't need help from you, and it was
yeah.
pride essentially. But Michael can be pretty convincing, as you can imagine. So,
So, Michael, if you wouldn't mind, man, maybe give us a glimpse from your perspective and your experience, right? Like, you have the USSR fell in what, 91, 90, 91. David Hasselhoff, huge in Germany for that reason. The Berlin Wall fell. Like, there's a huge thing. But then you had like Russia trying to implement Western values and da da da. Then Putin came into, well, let's say power. And anybody over the years that has ever tried to go against him, mysteriously dead. So, what would you say that would be helpful for us to understand in your sphere of submarine warfare or whatever? Like, what would be good for us to learn, geopolitics wise in today's world that is maybe carried over from so long ago, or what's new, what's old? That would you have totally got a great perspective, and would love to hear that.
Well, when I was at the Naval Academy, I had a Russian history class, and the main idea from the professor was that the Soviets did not change Russian history. It was the same thing with a different branding. So when the Soviets went away, the Russians just kept being the Russians. In a lot of ways, the the glossary changed and how they addressed each other and what their norms were, but it's still Russia. And Putin has been described as a czar, and he is a czar. He's got that single point of power, and all his lieutenants have to, be loyal to him, or they tend to die in plane crashes.
well, and you have to remember, and this is what I tell everybody because, we talk about Russia extensively. Putin's KGB, that is his playbook. The only thing that's disturbing to me now is Putin used to be very unpredictable. He was predictable in a way on some things, but he um, had an edge to him where we had problems. Things are looking different now. I don't know if I want to say he's more unpredictable. I think so. Don't you, Michael? I'm not really sure. Still, I'm not really sure what's going on with him. There's been all kinds of speculation as to his health and other things, but people are still, yeah, falling out of windows right and left.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I think his health is degrading. So it's going to be interesting over the next 5 to 10 years to see how things go. I think there's going to be a transition in power, but I think the instruction, to the crowd is to watch the movie Death of Stalin. I mean, it's a comedy, but all that stuff really did happen. The Soviet Politburo trying to figure out who should be in charge next, and all the infighting, and that's going to happen again.
Yeah, exactly. And then again, you have, who is going to succeed him. And we know that power vacuums are extremely dangerous. I mean, we had Europe saying for a while, we need to take him out. Good luck with that. Um, it's interesting.
Well, the thing about
So,
it is, if not him, the guy who replaces him could be worse. So the devil, right?
right. Does this make any sense? So, Nichevo, huh? I don't know what that is. Nichevo? Pulling
I
up
don't
one of the
either.
chat comments, and then, yeah, the Snow King. So, I'm not sure. I think Jason may know more than we do, maybe. I don't know. He's like covert. But I just want to throw that up there just in case for funsies. But yeah, I think that's man, it's just so interesting. All right, next photo I'd love for you to give us a little background on is you on this mess. Now, I use this in the poster to advertise our time together tonight. And I thought this is badass. I thought Grok rocked it. What beautiful bike, by the way.
Yeah, the thing is, I just sold it. I traded it in for a trike. So now I have a 3-wheeler that's a lot newer and more powerful, but it's still got 3 wheels because, at my age, I think having a 2-wheeler is going to get me in trouble. So I did the conservative. I got a 3-wheeler.
I got to ask, mate, do you have a sidecar? Because I feel like there's not enough sidecars with motorcycles. I'm just going to put it out there.
If I did, I'd want to get a big dog to put in it with goggles on,
Oh man, I did that. I've got a great video. It's like I do sometimes, like, launching on X today, like this, and there's a dog with goggles. Oh man, I'm gonna have to find that, and I'm gonna have to show it for sure. So, all right, pulling up. Jason says the Snow King is a reference to the death of Stalin. Apologies. Got it. Okay. Roger that.
It's lost on me. I don't know what the Snow King is, but
yeah, no worries. But
they're called. I'm sorry. I was going to say they're called.
Fun things about this is we can pull up people's comments. So I just want to encourage everybody that's listening on X and on YouTube. If you have a comment, we're happy to interact. Please, Red, go ahead.
I was going to say I had them for my Saint Bernard, and they're called Doggles, Doggles, not goggles. Super cute. And
yes. Man.
He would ride in the front seat of my Corvette with the top off, and he thought that was the greatest thing in the world. But yep, Doggles are a thing.
Doggles, yes. Oh, that's so good. And when you say Saint Bernard, my mind only goes to one place, and that's Looney Tunes with the snow avalanche and the barrel of whiskey around the Saint Bernard when he goes and saves someone and pours them a beverage. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, here it
dogs.
is. So I went to Grok, and it says that Georgy Malenkov, played by Jeffrey Tambor, is jokingly called the Snow King. He briefly holds power. The nickname appears in dialogue. It's a mocking nickname used by the other characters. They don't really explain how he got that nickname, though.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
We're going down some really fun rabbit trails, chasing some fun rabbits here tonight, and I'm here for it. So I see this, and I'm curious what's going through your mind. Well, you're known for holding your stogies. I've got the other picture I'm going to pull up, but I'm curious what is going through your mind while this is being snapped.
Well, I was on the deck of my cabin probably maybe a year or two after I first bought it. And I was really enjoying life because I bought this cabin in the mountains of Vermont, away from everybody. I was working in New Jersey and New York, and you can imagine the traffic and the craziness and the pressure. So I'd come up here over the weekend, and I would just sit back and chill and burn a couple of stogies and go through half a liter of bourbon and just put my feet up and have a good time. My bike was up here in the garage. So Saturday and Sunday, I'd burn some rubber in that. Life was good. So this was kind of a nice time in my life. I wasn't really seeing anybody, but that's the thing about Vermont is there's more mooses per square mile than people up here.
Don't hit one, man. They're on fucking stilts. If you hit one, they end up in your lap. That's a wrap, Jack.
Well, I don't know. Did you hear my moose story from X?
I don't know if I did, but I certainly have listen, from winter to spring, I don't know if I've seen anybody post more snow pictures than those. Would love to hear the moose story. Rock and roll, man.
So when there's a sort of an 86-mile circle around my property, going into the mountains and the other small towns in Vermont, and it's 2-lane blacktop, and it's very low traffic. I mean, a couple of Saturdays, there was not a soul to be seen. Maybe I saw 5 cars on the whole journey. And so I took a left out of my house, and I got onto the 2-lane blacktop, and you go up a hill because we're in mountains. And as I went up the hill, I was probably only doing about 40 miles an hour. And this Harley had the loudest engine in about a 3-state area. So I'm cruising up the hill, and all of a sudden a moose breaks out of the woods and starts galloping toward me. And he's not coming straight at me. He's leading me, like he's running to where I'm going to be about 90 seconds in the future. And I didn't know they were smart enough to do that.
Oh shit!
And I'm terrified, right? So
Yeah.
I roll the throttle
That makes sense.
gun it. And I'm in the left lane, oncoming traffic, and we're coming up over a blind rise. And it occurs to me that I could be in an accident if somebody comes the other direction that I can't see because it is blind. And if I get killed doing this, that moose is not going to stick around to give the cops a statement.
It sure is not. You know, there's an account on X that's a moose. It's
Oh
got
my
like
God.
I have been trading
80,000
with him.
followers and like follows 0 people or something. But it's like,
I call him fat and ugly every day.
just I didn't bother the sunbathers. It's like trotting along a lake beach or whatever. It's great, man. I love how people on X can have so much fun, and the ability to connect is there depending on the willingness of authors like you, actors, celebrities, right? Like obviously the more people, the more distance. But it's like one of those things, if you have like 26 million followers, you're probably not going to engage. But there's like a sweet spot I found on X where actually, I take it back, because there's people that have almost 1 million people that are followers that are really good at replies. And then there's people that have 1,000 followers that never reply or like anything. And those are the people I take umbrage with. Fucking pisses me off, because it's like, listen, we're on this together. Why is it, if you're going to post and ghost at 1,000 followers and you're complaining that you're not growing, wait a minute, problem here. I look at you. You're very active here. I look at Joe Malozzi, who is one of the Stargate showrunners, was going to be. He's very active, and he'll reply or at least like sometime. Like there's all different kinds, and then there's like nobodies like me that somehow rise to the through the ranks just because I like to have a little bit of fun and shit post, and I'd like to think I bring good content. You have every walk of life on X, and here we are talking tonight about submarines and the Navy. And to me, it can seem so random and chaotic, but at the same time, it makes sense. It's weird.
Well, I think my comment on that is that I established my account in 2014 and never used it until after Elon walked in with the sink, because X was,
yes,
censored and overwhelmed by the white liberal woman thing. It was crazy. And then once Elon cleaned house, it became the town hall. No censorship.
It really is,
one
man.
reason I won't use Facebook anymore, because I spent about 14 months in suspension in Facebook jail for saying the word tranny.
Ugh.
Or one time I got penalized because I called Joe Courtmanch, my narrator, a spook, because he's a crypto analysis. He is literally a spy, and he belongs to a group on Facebook called U.S. Navy Spooks. And the fact that I called him a spook in the context of being a cryptanalysis, they threw me in 30 days of Facebook jail. So I've had it with them. I'm done with Zuck. It's just
that's
bullshit.
the actual verbiage. But yeah, it's complete horseshit. I completely agree, man. That I think that all of us, I was actually looking to tap out, and this is my third go on this. And sometimes people confuse me with the Scotsman, the critical drinker. And I'm like, dude, there's a reason I have a 1 and he has a 2, right? I was here first. I preceded him, but out of deference, I did select that handle because I had the same thought. But then I saw him on YouTube, and I was like, okay, I need to distance myself, but I want to have I still have the same vibe because that's me. So there's that, but then there's like the putting in jail. right? Like, who wants to deal with that? So Elon with the sync, big deal for sure. A couple comments I want to get to real quick before we take a comfort break here. We're coming up on an hour. Fast. That was a fast hour. Is Jason says Discord could be a place for you to engage with followers at will as well. Yeah, that's a very much gamer place, but you can certainly do that. I know Men Said is opened up a Discord. The problem is once you start saying, "Hey, I'm on X. Hey, I'm on YouTube. Hey, I'm on Rumble. Hey, I'm on Facebook. Hey, I'm on fucking Twitch. Hey, I'm on," right? Like you can't pull everybody everywhere. So one of the things I've done is try to keep my eggs in a good, one or two baskets, not spread it too thin. But Discord is one of the best softwares, but it's not public. You got to join the server to see it, and it's just not it's not public, right? Unless you go there. But it definitely has its use. But I think it's more of a supplement. It's not like you said, the town square that X is. And then Ella says, "What, Mikey? What got you into riding, Mr. Mike? How do you go from sailor to rider?" I think let's do this. Let's take a comfort break, right? So let's take the next few minutes, and then what we'll do is we'll come back, and then we can start off answering her question. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Good deal.
Awesome.
I'll be back.
All right, so the video is 3 minutes long. If I need to make it longer, I'll play it twice. But we will be right back. I'm here with Mike DiMercurio and Red. What's the should we do the whole Red? Sonic Red hit. What should we call you?
Just Red. Red is fine.
Red is fine. We're glad you're here, and thanks, chat, for being here as well. Thanks for the likes and reposts. Feel free to unrepost and repost. We are going to bend the algo to our absolute will tonight. I would love for everybody to, if they have a comment or question or demand, for us to be able to, honor that and have a conversation. It'll make it more interesting. But we will be back shortly. Hang tight. Refill those adult beverages. BRB. I'm here with Supersonic Redhead. I'm here with Mikey DiMercurio. We are finishing up our comfort break, and this is me vamping. Da, 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 da. And let's talk about the man. The fact the man's written over a dozen novels. I don't know where the well happens, where the well springs from. That's a lot of fucking books. That's a
Yeah.
lot of stories. Red, would you like to contribute to that thought process?
Well, I mean, we have a pretty good time. I don't know if you know Joe Courtmanche at all, but he's the narrator and the other editor. And currently, I'm editing novel number 14 right now. Michael is writing novel 15, and he's also writing his autobiography. So we've been a little busy, but yeah, he's been doing this for 30 years. And so, in honor of that, we had the thought it's like, hey, let's put together a collector's edition of our Voyage of the Devilfish, the Titanium Coffin. And Michael can tell you the story about how that happened the first time, where basically the editor from hell, who was just a frustrated writer, hacked the heck out of Mike's book and really left him. I mean, it was an okay product, but it was not the Mikey that I know, the Mikey that I edit. I know his style very well. And Don Fine had a very poor relationship with punctuation. I think that's the nicest way I can say that, Mikey. I mean,
Yes.
it was really bad. The guy in commas, I'm like, what is your problem? Nobody speaks forever without taking a pause. That's what commas are for. Little things like that will drive me nuts. But so we made a hardcover for the 30th anniversary of Michael's writing, and for America 250, we thought that would all go together well. And we're still selling copies of that at DiMercurio, houseofdimercurio.com. But that was the thing with that. So yeah, he's been doing this a minute. Mike, did you send him the picture of you and your son when you were writing, you and Matt?
No, I didn't. Let me
Oh,
see
you
if I
should
can
have.
do that.
Yeah, send him that one. It's really cute. His son's sitting in his lap when he's writing his book the first time. And now his son is an airline pilot.
Okay. So we said that we were going to come back and address the question or answer the question. First and foremost, hello, Admiral Teague over there on YouTube, mate. How you going? Listen, if you guys like Star Trek, this guy is saving it. Mate, it is so good to see you. And he helped me with my StreamYard decisions. So behind the scenes, Admiral Teague is somebody that has helped me be a success. And I wanted to absolutely say, make sure to follow him on YouTube and on X. He's a good dude. New Yorker, every once in a while, he takes a picture of that Highlander building, right, where they had the final. So good. Commas, people, exactly. But what I wanted to do is go back to what we saw right before. I'm looking for the comment. Please bear with me here. Or the question from Ella, I should say, is there we go. Mike, what got you into writing? How do you go from sailor to writer?
Well, it was sort of the other way around. When I was growing up, my dad drilled into my head that he was sick and tired of engineers who couldn't write, and he was an engineer. So I did go to the academy and study mechanical engineering, but at the same time, I was really into my English classes. And when I picked a major mechanical engineering. The head of the English department pretty much threw me up against a wall and growled, "What are you doing? You're the best writer who's shown up at the academy in a long time. Why are you going engineering and wasting your life?" So I was really more of a writer who decided to be an engineer. I kept a diary from when I was a sophomore, a youngster at the academy, to catalog all the crazy, absurd stuff that was going on at the Naval Academy. And it was funny because I would go on a date and then I would write a 20-page entry about it. And then my classmates and the underclass all wanted me to get up at a podium and read to them my diary entry on what happened. I mean, I had a captive audience. These guys loved it. So by the time I got to MIT, I had maybe 25 volumes of a diary. So I'd always wanted to write. It was more a matter of what was my subject matter going to be. So fast forward to my first day on the Hammerhead, I immediately thought it would be great if this boat could go up against Russia's finest under the ice cap. Who would prevail? What would that battle be like? And that became a couple of years later, Voyage of the Devilfish.
It's interesting how she also says, I wish I was in engineering school and the pushed and pushed writing. Yeah. It's interesting how we can take our life experiences and then they accumulate and then somehow they fit into a passion. You know, like everyone has their own path, but like you think that someone's going to zig and then they zag, or that they're going to zag and they zig. And it's one of those really cool things when you see it really work, depending on whatever it is, right? For you, it's been that, like, really, like, okay, Naval Academy, MIT, submarine officer, legendary novel writer. Like, where's the bingo card for that?
and
There
and
is-
project manager, construction management.
Where's the
There's a,
bingo
there's
card?
it's just talent stacking, right, Mike? If we're going to go Scott Adams.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, a lot of stories that I put out on X came from the absurd days of managing projects and the office politics that are part of that. There's a lot of absurdity in life that we have to laugh at, and if we don't laugh, we're going to cry.
Yeah, it's important. So you mentioned something that's really, really, I think, vital, that our culture has somewhat lost, but I think comedians are the philosophers of today that have held the line on free speech, but being able to laugh not only at other people or situations, but at ourselves. Being able to do both of those things are indicators of something really healthy. Number one, you're not insecure. Number two, you have a good relationship with somebody that I can rag on them, razz them, rib them, whatever the word. And three, that we can, experience the joy of laughter. And it is the best medicine. And when a culture is devoid of those things, I think it's a real check engine fucking light.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that handsome devil with a stogie. Is there I told you I'd throw the other stogie picture up that you sent me. Is there a specific? I'm not a cigar guy, but for those that, by the way, thanking everyone. We have over 260 people on X checking out the stream here. Thanks for being here tonight. We're glad you are. Feel free to say hi in the chat. We're happy to interact. But for those that are cigar aficionados, what advice would you have for somebody that is like beginner, intermediate, advanced, that you could think to relay?
Well, the thing now is that it's possible to get Cuban cigars from Cuba
No
if
shit.
you know where to look. Yeah, I mean, if you know where to look and if you're willing to pay the price, there's a couple of websites I discovered that you can have them shipped here. They will ask for 800 or 900 euro, and then your credit card has to do all the calculations to figure out
For
what that
how
is.
many does that buy? Because that's like easily $1,000. Let's call it $1,000.
Yeah, that might be a box of 20 if you're lucky. Box of 20
No
might be
shit.
double that price. Yeah.
So 20 cigars that are Cuban, dude. How excited are we? Are you cigar aficionados for Marco Rubio to change the dynamics in Cuba?
I'm a big fan of
that's
Cohiba
unbelievable.
cigars, but Cohiba has, I think, a Dominican plant, and they do some fairly good cigars. I mean, it's more or less $20 to $30 a stick. So you can get a box of those a lot cheaper than Cubans, but there's really no equal to a Cuban cigar. I went to the Bahamas a couple of years ago over Christmas, and I had a Cohiba cigar from Cuba that cost $600 for one cigar. And of course, I didn't know that until they got the check, and I had two of them. And then I had about 4 doubles of an upscale bourbon. And by the time I got out of just chilling at the bar, it was like a $2,000 bill.
Oh,
So, no, they were great cigars. Don't get me wrong, but you suffer from that, and you're like, I'm going to go cheap for a while.
yeah, no kidding. Oh my god, that's bananas. I mean, it's a good experience, but like, yeah, especially if you're that caught off guard, like, oh, how much could it be? And then you're
Yeah,
like,
how bad could this be? It's really bad. And
you
they don't
swallow
publish
an
the
apple.
prices on that menu, I noticed. If they had, I would have been like, I'm not smoking a cigar tonight.
So I was hoping, I want to respect everyone's time. I know we talked about an hour and a half, and we've already gone an hour and 15 minutes. If you want to help me understand how much time we have, are you good to go for a while, or are we sticking to around that? How much time do I have you for? That'll help me to tailor any questions or things
I'm
I have in
good.
the queue. Yeah.
I'm good. I am good. I am just sitting here in my comfy chair. I am good. So,
Excellent.
I got a cup of coffee, so I'm good to go.
yeah,
All
me
right.
too.
Listen, never threaten me with a good time. Okay, so I've got some I'm like, you can't see it, but I'm like rubbing my hands together, like And if I had a mustache, I'd be twirling it while like Snurdly. I've got some sub movies. I'm so excited. What I'd like to do is show the trailer, and then you give us like a rundown. It doesn't have to be, complete exposition, but just give us like positives, negatives of the movie if you've seen it. If not, that's fine. Just give us your take on what you see in the trailer, but I'm feeling you've seen probably these movies. So first up in the shoot, I did see a post, rather, that you said you watched this in the theater, I think with your pops. So this is Das Boot. Okay. So I'm going to pull it up here. I've got let me think here. Still getting used to this. So pardon me. There we remove that. All right. So let's watch this trailer together, and would love to get your take on Das Boot. Here we go. There's the beards. I hate the fact that they put up that shit. You can't like get away from it. So, what would you say? What's your takeaway from Das Boot, man? What would you tell us?
Well, there's a couple things that occur to me when I see the trailer is that you hear the sonar sounds, and Hollywood thinks that submarines do that all the time. Those sonar sounds were coming from their enemy. Those were destroyers searching for them. And I think when you watch the movie, that becomes really clear. But in the trailer, you're thinking that's coming from their sub. It doesn't. And that's the other thing. You just don't hear that noise on a submarine because we don't use active sonar very much. It's usually passive. We're listening. And the only time you would really use an active sonar pulse is if the bad guy already knows you're there. I think the other thing is that
Really quickly,
folks,
may I hit pause real quick on?
Sure.
Can you briefly explain the difference between active and passive sonar for people?
Oh, sure. An active sonar puts out a deliberate pulse of sound, and it sounds like what you heard in the trailer, and that pulse goes out, and then it hits an object like a submarine, and it bounces back. There's a reflection from it, and the time difference between when the pulse is transmitted and when the reflection is received is converted to a distance. And then not only that, but that sonar is looking in a particular direction. Oh, it's all very much like a radar. sweeping around looking for objects and showing you the bearing and range to the objects that it detects.
So
And
they
then,
also give themselves away on active sonar, right?
right, it violates stealth. So we use listen only sonar. We listen to what we call broadband, which is white noise type. You'll hear a propeller shaft or the propeller itself or engines rumbling. But most of our detections come from narrowband, which is looking for a very particular frequency. Rotating machinery puts out a tonal, a bell tone. So, a rotating pump puts out a very specific frequency of noise. And if you know what that frequency of that, bad guy's tonals are, you can set a frequency filter gate to look for that. And you can hear that from 20, 30, even 40 miles away.
Hey,
So,
Mike, I have a question. So who
yeah,
indexes all of that? Is there like a shared index throughout the world of those tones, or is it something that every country does individually? Do we share with like our NATO allies? How did that index come to be?
it's very classified. It's extremely classified. It's probably one of our closely held secrets. We do share it with the
Good
British, although
question.
we're having a lot of trouble with the British right now. So that sharing may come to an end. I don't know, but yeah, we really, that's very closely held intelligence.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
this
in my realm, we have the same kind of thing too, as far as our signatures and everything and so on and so forth. But some of it you can't help but share because it just gets out there. I always knew that the submarines held those tightly. So I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You're not interrupting at all. That's a great question. Interrupt anytime. We're so glad you're here, Red, because you guys are a tag team on his novels. So I'm so grateful that you both have time tonight. So thank you for that. My cart, I should say. But Jason is asking Mike, do you recommend any diesels for the U.S.?
We left behind diesel submarines probably in the 60s. When we look at all things considered, diesel submarines just didn't fit our warfare style. At the same time, diesel submarines are very much a problem because when they're when they're not snorkeling, they're very quiet. And if you want to see that up close and personal, you can watch Down Periscope.
Hold your powder. Hold on. I've got that.
You got that queued up? Because that's real.
That's a trailer for sure.
Very hard to hear a diesel.
So, okay. Wasn't something I heard that Iran had diesel subs, and we ended up sinking them, but it was a bit tricky, but we did it. I don't know if I'm nailing it exactly, but that's my gist of how it went down. Do you have any knowledge or do you have any recollection of what I'm talking about?
The Iranians had 3 kilo class submarines, which were built by the Russians in the 90s. And everybody in our Navy wanted to be the guys to sink them. So we spread out the joy. So they weren't all taken down by submarines. I think, the aviators had some and the destroyers had some. And I think maybe one of them got taken out by a drone. But the fact of it is that, those boats were old and tired. But an Iranian kilo submarine actually became the star of the show of my 10th novel, Dark Transit, when the Russians jammed a fast reactor into one to test their reactor technology. And the whole submarine plot was to try to see if we could hijack it and get it back to American shores for taking it apart and studying it. And the trouble was the Russians were pissed off about that, and they set out a search and destroy mission with their frontline submarines to sink it, and our Virginia-class submarine Vermont that was sent in there with the commandos to steal it in the first place.
Man. So, yeah, what a fascinating world that we're learning tonight. Thank you for taking time to help us see it, because this will help people, I'm sure, no doubt, enjoy your novels even more. That to understand like the little idiosyncrasies, the culture stuff that I may know a little about that we sussed out, but you've definitely helped me to understand, and certainly more people. Okay, now we're going to move on from DOS Boot. Um, there's a lot of miniatures in that, but that's okay. So now we're going to watch U571. So looking forward to your reaction. Let's take a gander, and let's get your reaction after this.
Everybody fall in now!
What's going on here? Hell if I know.
Gentlemen, it's our turn.
In the last Great War,
All ahead 2/3. All ahead 2/3, huh?
a group
Oh
of
my
young
God, Bill
Americans
Paxton's
was
in this.
sent
I
to
forgot.
overpower a Nazi submarine
The S-33 will rendezvous with a U-boat posing as the German resupply sub.
and steal a secret that could turn the tide of battle.
You'll be all right, son.
Get them their damn trophy and you get the hell out of there.
I found it! Hirsch, I think we got the code book!
But just when they thought the mission was over,
Success, gentlemen.
they lost their ride home. This spring,
Everybody lock down!
trapped in an enemy submarine,
I need speed! Everything's in German! I can't equalize the two!
deep in hostile waters,
Incoming! Die! Die!
the key to victory rests with 9 men.
When they realize what you've discovered, they'll send every ship in the Navy to destroy you.
Splashes.
From Universal Pictures comes a story about the courage that wins wars,
Permission to ban it ship! I'll get you!
the moments
This is crazy. You're gonna get us killed.
that change history.
Gonna find out who we are in about 60 seconds.
Right, right now we die!
U571.
Oh man, that's just like it's got like the movie guy voice. I'm just watching the smile on your face, man. That's so cool to see as you're watching this.
I was just going to say that too. That's hilarious. So cute. I'm sorry.
I love it.
So let me opine if I could.
Yes, sir.
There are two really bad submarine movies. One of them is Crimson Tide, and the other one is this thing. It has no bearing on reality. It was the British who found the Enigma unit.
Oh,
You can't
no.
in World War II shoot a torpedo at another submerged submarine and hit it. This thing was bullshit from start to finish. There are a lot
Oh,
of people who found
no.
it entertaining, and it was dramatic, and they had the characters interacting and their struggle. And there are people who liked it, like at the Admiral. But I saw this movie and I just wanted to throw my popcorn at the screen.
Oh,
And that was the
no.
only time I saw it. So, no, I don't like this movie at all. And don't get me started on Crimson Tide either.
Well, that may or may not be a trailer I've loaded as well. But I was gonna say, well, there's Harvey Keitel. I completely forgot 100%, 1000%. Well, first of all, the fact that they're doing it in their chokers, it looks good, but like, dude, unless you're at a change of command or something, like, you're not in chokers, man. That's just, maybe you submariners do something different, but for the rest of the Navy, that is not like a, hey, let's meet at 06 tomorrow to get into. No, that's not a thing. But I just wanted to say, Bill Paxton. I forgot Bill Paxton was in this. Oh my God, I love.
He belongs
everybody
in Tornado or something like that.
Terminator, fucking
Yeah,
Aliens, Weird Science, Twisters, Edge of Tomorrow, like what is it, True Lies? He plays that like shit-eating
What was
used
the
car
It Is Tomorrow?
salesman. Like, oh
I
my
can't
god,
remember
so
him in It Is
good.
Tomorrow.
This movie I feel like has been a little bit lost to time, and that may be why, right? Like, I don't hear anybody be like, "Oh, U571." Like, I remember it, but it's one of those things, right? That has been. So hey, Teague said, well, let me pull it up. Teague says he liked U571, and then hit the like and follow for me. Yes, but okay, so let me hit on this, right? Military movies are really hard for military members to watch. Okay. So
Do
like
not get me started. Do not get me started. Do not
Let's
get me
talk
started.
about Top Gun.
Oh man,
Oh.
you're gonna ruin Iron Eagle for me, aren't you?
I mean, this is Mikey's night and let him go. But we've had this conversation many times.
No, share a story.
And
But don't Go
well,
ahead.
like the funniest thing we ever did
Well,
was like
if you
with the-
want, please give people your credentials so that they, understand your background if you'd like. But
Sure.
tell a story the way.
Well, let me see. It's like I am a retired officer from the United States Air Force. I did 32 years. I flew the F-16 and spent a lot of time on naval weapon systems at SPAY-War and crossed over a lot. I've made drone sims. I have a PhD in systems engineering. And currently, for the most part, I am editing. I do the covers for Michael's books. I edit his books. I provide information regarding and supporting the airplanes in his books. So I consult with him on that. So that's pretty much it. And then sometimes we commiserate over how terrible military movies are. And that's always a good time. But I mean, the main thing that was so funny is like whenever there's the premiere for one of the Top Gun movies, and you would get like part of 9 of my squadron together. And for the first one, and we're sitting there, we're like, that doesn't happen. There's no way. What are they doing that for? We're not chit-chatting with each other. I mean, it's just pretty funny. And if you really want to have a good time, just have Michael watch a submarine movie with you because he will do the same thing. And then he's taught me so much that I've become a total submarine snob too. And then what's the Tom Hanks movie that was out not too long ago? The U-boat movie.
Greyhound.
Yeah, Greyhound. And so I'm like, and that would never happen. And then I get on the phone and I call Michael. I'm like, Michael, is this right? Hell no, that's not right. I mean, it's so funny.
I don't want to hear. Listen, I love Greyhound. Don't you dare ruin it for me. I'm happy. It's like I'm in Disneyland. I don't want to see behind the fence. I don't want to see the Mickey Mouse take his head off and smoking. It's some Mexican dude. I don't care. I want to live in my reality. There's a sequel to that coming out, by the way. But do not ruin Greyhound for me.
I liked it.
That whole movie, I was rooting for the U-boats.
Oh, motherfucker. You sound like me during Aliens Requiem. It was so terrible. I'm like, come on, aliens, kill everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
How young? Hold on, let me see if I can find that screenshot. How young a Matthew McConaughey is this, by the way? Unsuccessful in capturing a screenshot here. Let me see if I can't.
He's fresh-faced.
I mean, so he's probably like mid-20s, 30 max. But yeah, Harvey Keitel. You've got it's so good. Anyways, but no, that's good to go. I have some comments here. Teague, the good admiral, says U-57 was not for people who knew about the military. It was okay if you were a World War II history buff, though. Outlier bad performance by Matthew McKinda. Kind of gay. He was sort of
but kind of gay. Oh my goodness.
Flat and weird.
Well, it's good that he had the reconnaissance after that comment. No, that especially if you've what is that? Where he's with Woody Harrelson, that cop show. Shit. It's on HBO. Really good. Anyways, dude smoked camels like no tomorrow.
I remember him in Wolf of Wall Street, where he's schooling Leonardo DiCaprio.
True Detective. That's what it is.
True Detective. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see Tom Hanks as a septet. Okay, listen. I'm going to defend Greyhound. I will die on this fucking hill, and that's fine. Listen, they put the crew on a destroyer. You could tell going up and down the ladder well, the communicado. Now, U-boats being able to like transmit on destroyers. Oh, Greyhound, you're gonna die. Okay, got it. That's fiction, probably. But like, it was. Listen, I'm not quick to hate, but if it's like egregious, like fucking Battleship, listen, if I'm going to go to the mat and destroy a movie, it's Battleship. Rihanna, everyone else, the 5-inch gunfire, dude, everything about that. The only cool thing was finally the Navy had a good looking uniform that looked Navy for like a moment in time, a stitch in time before they changed it again. And that's it. The whole movie. I could just absolutely just Bikini Island that shit, just nuke it. I would love to do that. But Greyhound, it has a special place in my heart. I'm just going to say it.
Well, you know, the people ask me all the time, Mikey, what's your favorite submarine movie? And mine is Ice Station Zebra with Rock Hudson. I mean, Ice Station Zebra is really accurate for late 50s technology. I mean, it came out in 1968, but I'm sure, you know, it was based on the Alistair MacLean novel that was written 10 years earlier. And for what it was accurate for that time period. By the time 1968 rolled around, it wasn't anymore, but it was still great to see their under ice operations and, you know, how they conducted themselves on the ship. It was pretty accurate. I liked it.
Well, good sir. I am excellent at what I do, and I've pulled up the trailer. I had not that was not on my radar. See what I did there? Wasn't on my sonar. But if you would be willing, sir, I'm happy to play the trailer to your favorite sub movie as a tribute to you, man. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
Good. Don't threaten me with a good time. That's all I'm saying.
Below the surface of the North Atlantic.
Sorry, sound was not on. I apologize.
You are 300 feet below the surface of the North Atlantic. On board the American nuclear submarine, Tigerfish 3. Your destination, a secret outpost at the top of the world. Ice Station Zebra.
Take her up.
Hold on. I got to pause. I just got to pause for 1 second. I just got to pause. Wash khakis, the most comfortable uniform the U.S. Navy has ever produced in their fucking history. And they pun intended, torpedoed that uniform. What a fucking travesty. Such a great uniform. So comfy.
It was.
Oh, it makes me so sad. Anyways, I apologize. Here we go.
Your orders, get there before the Russians. On board, one of these men is a saboteur who is determined to stop you.
Oh, I've already vouched for Mr. Vaslov. As for me, you can safely eliminate me.
Why?
Oh, you must.
Why?
Biological absurdity. Haven't you forgotten, Captain? I'm in charge of this operation. Those orders come to you from your chief of naval operations and direct to him from your president. So before we go any further, I suggest that you get me there, put another torpedo up the spout, blow a hole in the ice, and get me there!
I can't hold this much longer.
You've got to! And then you arrive at Ice Station Zebra.
Captain, radar has reported unidentified aircraft. Estimated time of arrival, 17 minutes.
A race against time at the top of the world.
Estimated time of arrival, 9 minutes.
Rock Hudson, Ernest Borgnine, Patrick McGowan, and Jim Brown.
Time of arrival, 2 minutes.
Fighting two enemies, the one they can see and the one that they can't. Ice Station Zebra.
I mean, okay, I can appreciate the fact it's 68. It's like watching old Bond films, right? You got to give this
Right.
special effects a little bit of a break. But dude, I'm just trying to find the screenshot. Listen, that is a young, virile Ernest Borgnine. The first time I ever saw this guy was watching Airwolf in the 80s. So this is great.
Michael smiled the whole entire. Did you see that? I don't think I've seen Michael smile so much in my life.
See, that's what I try to do. I try to bring joy and good cheer to the people that take their precious time to spend it on the CTD experience. I'm so glad to see that. But also Rock Hudson. But you got some heavy hitters here, man. No doubt about it. So I love that there's whiskey, bourbon in the wardroom. Yeah. Fabulous, by the way. So please, we all just watch. It is
medicinal whiskey.
You are not wrong. What about this? We just watched it. What sell us on this? What makes it so endearing to you? No doubt there's some nostalgia at play.
I liked the under ice operation element of it. It's very accurate, showing how you operate under the ice. You find a thin spot in the ice and your vertical surface to pop through it. And I don't think I've really seen that in anything else. And it's very rare that people know how you do that. And this movie sets it all out there for you to see. I think it was great.
Is that a beret?
Yeah, it's a raspberry beret.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, you're having a Prince moment. Seriously?
So there's Rock just being, badass. Anyways, okay, that's cool, man. I just was curious. I'm glad we could bring that up and show it. I'd not seen that trailer, so that's fun to me to do that. Well, I was going to show Crimson Tide, but you properly shat on it. So
properly.
Yeah. Like I'm guessing that Gene Hackman's character would not have a dog on board. Is that one of the gripes?
That would never happen.
Yeah.
And a submarine captain is between 38 and 40 years old. It's not going to be Gene Hackman at like 68.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So we're going to we'll skip that. That's fine. Roger that. Taken on board. Okay, so now this one I'm actually genuinely really curious about. This is K-19, The Widowmaker, 2002. This is the trailer. This has Harrison Ford in it, right? So I am very curious because of your pedigree, knowledge. I would love to get your take because I don't know what it is about this particular movie, but I feel like the people I've talked to that have seen it, there's a chord that's struck in some way, and I don't know all of the chords, but it's there, and I've noticed it, if that makes any sense. So let me go ahead and reduce this, add this up, and let's rock and roll. I got to make that full screen. Here we are. I will not play the Gerard Butler one. You're welcome.
The Americans have forward deployed a George Washington-class submarine with Polaris nuclear missiles. Unfortunately, our response is still in dry dock.
He was the elite of the Russian Navy.
To undertake an exercise of this scope may be, with respect, premature.
There is no doubt in my mind that K-19 is ready to fulfill her mission.
The pride of the High Command.
Sea trials begin in 2 weeks.
The boat isn't ready.
We deliver or we drown.
The shield of Mother Russia.
No sailors have been given such a boat as K-19. It is the finest submarine in the world. We will not fail.
I just hope you pick the right men. But in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
We're sitting on a pile of uranium. Wrap this around your private parts.
He was all that stood between the superpowers.
I have a contact dead ahead.
Continue the dive.
300 meters is close to crush depth.
I know.
And total nuclear war.
Captain, they fired a torpedo.
Fighter missile 3.
He nearly got us killed today. The political branch gives you the authority to approve any change of command. Based on an astonishing true story.
You needlessly endangered this boat and its crew.
Report! We've got a leak!
The core's heating up. The mission's over.
I'll tell you when the mission is over. The radiation is going to kill us all.
No! Core temperature is 450 degrees and rising!
K-19 has broken off radio contact.
Harrison Ford.
Our situation is desperate. At any moment, we could have an explosion.
Hiroshima, 1.4 megatons.
Liam Neeson.
No captain in the Soviet Navy has ever been faced with such decisions. The fate of the boat, the crew, the fate of the world, all in the balance.
I want my men off this boat.
Some men pray for miracles.
I would rather die than abandon my men.
Heroes fight for them.
Surface the boat! 950!
I mean, say what you want. That is one hell of a trailer. This trailer is one of the greatest trailers I think I've seen in a movie, Submarine, Navy, or anything else. It is fucking spectacular. Before you opine, sir, what I just want to say is I think it has two 06s on board, right? It's got Liam Neeson's the captain, but then Harrison Ford's like whatever the Commodore. But then also, you want to talk about like the Navy chief shining? This movie, the chief shines in this movie would be my 2 cents. So as you're talking, I'll skip through some screen, some parts of it. But please, Mike, go ahead, mate.
Yeah, allow me to retort. I love this movie. I thought it was very accurate. It was the interiors were filmed inside of a Russian diesel boat.
I've got Harrison pulled up. Did he pull you out of the movie in any way?
No. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised that it did so poorly. The movie lost over $100 million, and I think part of the issue was Americans really did not sympathize with the Russians at the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you were to do it today, I don't know that it would be much different, honestly.
Well, the backstory for me is, and I know Supersonic does not like backstories, but I feel I have to tell this one, is that when it lost $105 million, it put a couple of dozen studio executives out on the street. And at the time, my novel Attack of the Seawolf was making the rounds in Hollywood with the movie deal. And I don't know if you know this, but Spielberg actually read Attack of the Seawolf, and his direct quote was, awesome. I love it. I wish I could make it. After K-19, no one would touch a submarine movie for a long time because everybody remembered the pain of K-19 and what happened.
Because this was after Crimson Tide, right? This was after Denzel and Gene.
This was I forget the timing of this.
This is 2002. This movie.
Yeah. So
I think this like in the 90s.
Movie, it really reached into my life and slapped me around a little bit. So
it sucks, man.
I was not happy. I don't know if I told you my movie story, but a movie like Attack of the Seawolf would be a budget in the $100 million range. And, the breakdown of that was interesting because the main actor, a George Clooney or a Liam Neeson or a Harrison Ford would get about $30 million. K-19 had both of them. So that budget line item doubled. So that was part of their problem right there. From that
the fact that Liam Neeson, they're trying to sell. Okay. So I got to think they sold Sean Connery as a Russian. They're selling Harrison Ford as a Russian. They're selling Liam Neeson as a Russian. Like I they also sold Sean Connery as a Spaniard in Highlander. So I mean, there's some definite leeway in Hollywood for accents.
Yeah, there's a little miscasting there for Harrison Ford because everybody remembered him from Air Force One,
right?
And him being a Russian submarine commander, it just kind of
a little whiplash, eh?
Yeah, it's just not quite right. But the story was accurate. It's just it did not do well at the box office at all.
So it was based on a true story, though.
Yeah, it happened.
Oh, I've got to
And the
find.
Russians were really like that. They were rushing things to sea when they weren't ready, and they didn't give a damn that things weren't safe. The safety culture in the Russian Navy was terrible. I mean, it would make Admiral Rickover faint dead away.
So I gotta point out this guy, right? He's the quintessential in. Okay, so the other movie I remember him from, was he in The Spy Who Loved Me as the bad guy? I'm trying to think. He may have been the Bond villain in that one, but then I definitely know he was in Lethal Weapon 2 as the South Out. Your diplomatic immunity has been revoked, right? That was the guy, and now he's here. So I definitely remember this cat from Lethal Weapon 2. Diplomatic immunity.
Wasn't he also the Russian ambassador in Hunt for Red October?
He may have been.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes,
So
he
this
was.
Have
guy-
you lost another submarine?
Yes. Oh, you're so right.
Yep, you're right.
Oh, man. Let's bring him back, man. Let's call him back. Red, by the way, nice new profile pic. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, it only took me all night to do that, but yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. No, good to go. So, I mean, in Just War Theory, one of the main tenets is everyone is a human being, right? So even the fact that a Russian sub goes to the bottom of the ocean, let us help. Putin's like, right? And the time we talked about earlier, no thanks. It's like, so it's just, I think that we all can come together sometimes, but what technology is on board, what weapons are on board, what will people find out other countries? Obviously, there's other, just save humanity is not the only motive. It's really wild. As years and then decades pass, the more we'll learn about certain circumstances. And I feel like this is one of those, eh?
Well, like we were talking before, when Michael said, "I'm backing up on you," that they rush everything to see. They do the same thing with their Air Force too. I mean, they would sit there and say, "Well, we're superior because we have this many units that are capable of delivering X, Y, Z," and it's just not true. And half the time, they don't have the ability to man them. The other half of the time, those planes need repair. Um, they're not mission capable. So that's kind of the thing. But as far as the humanity thing of war, and Michael quoted me, there's a quote that I say a lot, and he quoted me. What did you put that in, Michael? It was Lion of the Seven Seas, where I talk about our enemies, and you have to appreciate and understand. You don't have to, but I think about it. You consider that that's a human being who grew up in a certain set of circumstances different than yours. It's what they know, it's what they've learned, and likely they don't know any different. And what I was talking about was, war is a real thing and yeah, we take a life. And I would always say that I always prayed for that person because they believe that they are right just as much as I believe that I am right. And I can't fault a person for that. So there's a lot to being a warrior and going to war. And I've spent enough time, and Michael chased around Russian submarines. I mean, it's something else, but the human factor is definitely there.
You are very much not wrong. So, all right, I've got one.
You have to show Red October because he loves it so much.
I've got two trailers and then something really fun. Navy something fun. I don't want to give the kit and caboodle away here. But yeah, so Ella's response, yeah, so she's like, well said, for sure. It's important, Joe Rogan says something that's when he said it, I was like, man, I wish more people thought like this, but it's definitely an uphill battle for them too. But everybody starts out as a baby, right? And then they grow and they learn, they become whatever. But like everybody starts out innocent, but what he means is there's an air of humanity. And no matter who our enemy is, and especially this is part of Just War Theory, is to not dehumanize, but to acknowledge, right? The fact that you can injure someone without hurting them. And that's kind of like a spiritual thing, part of that as well. Like there's this whole, ethos that the West is operating under. We'd like to think, anyways. And then you have other people. So, for another time, another topic. But as we're going through this submarine genre, it's really wild to think about the technology that's advanced, the situations they've been put in. Michael knows where he's been, and perhaps shit has been on a hair trigger. Maybe it's not, but we're not asking him. But we want to respect the fact that people are put in certain situations where, boy, they could make a big impact if the order was given. So I think that's a big takeaway here is the gravity and the graveness of the service, but also what they can do, the damage they can do, especially with multi-tip warheads and all that. That submarines. Michael, what is it, like 12? So what is it in the heyday? One ballistic missile could have 12 nukes as part of it. Help me if I'm wrong.
I don't think it was that much. I think maybe it was 6 or 8.
That's a fuck ton, man. That's like, okay, we're going to take out Moscow. We're going to take out St. Petersburg. We're going to take out da-da. We're going to take out da-da. Meanwhile, the other enemy with 6 nukes. Okay, we're going to take out Washington, D.C. We're going to take out New York. We're going to take out Miami. We're going to take out, list it, right? And it's like in one go. Or we can send all 6 to one city and good luck. So it's amazing that we've not had any nuclear winter. We've not, it's a testament in some way, right? It's a deterrent.
Well, let me correct myself. We can carry 12 MIRVs with lighter warheads or 8 with heavier ones.
It's a lot. That's going to mess up a day. Nobody wins. It's kind of like the Fallout. What is it? Fallout 76. If you watch the show or play the game, Teague says, I don't know if the human factor is the same across the board. A Russian or Soviet sailor is one thing. Some low-life Taliban, though, less honorable. Maybe less honorable, but they're still human, right? Like, that's all we're getting at. Speaking as someone who's never deleted anyone. Yeah, it's just important that we acknowledge the humanity, right? And
and that is my thing. And yes, I do not like what I've seen and what I know and what my brothers have told me and have really changed. There are things that you can't take back. There's a lot of things that humans should never be subject to, and fighting a war is one of them, but it's a necessary thing. But at the same time, yeah, they are lowlifes. They do horrible things. They rape children and animals, all kinds of stuff. If I told you everything I knew, you wouldn't be able to sleep. I'm telling you that. But they started somewhere, as you said. They started as an infant. You see these videos of these people training these children who are less than 2 or 3 years old to be terrorists, to hate people. It's not that baby's fault. Yes, we have to deal with it in the end. Absolutely. And I do honestly believe that evil has to be destroyed wherever it appears. But they still have a soul. They're still God's creation. They were a baby at one time, as innocent as anybody else.
Yeah, Admiral, that's all right if we disagree, because it's just important that we don't dehumanize. That's the big thing. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have 330 people joining us on X. We're at a 2-hour mark. I would like to take another comfort break. And then we've got, kind of definitely, on the glide path to bringing it in for landing. Mikey, Red, are you guys good to, I only say Mikey because that's how you've named yourself. Are you guys having a good time tonight? I feel like we've had a great discussion. This has been, for me anyways, I've really enjoyed the direction and things that we've talked about. How about you guys?
We're only scratching the surface.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Good. Yep. I'm so glad. That my aim is always for whoever I have on to have a great time. And it sounds like we're hitting the mark. So, all right, we're going to take another comfort break for a few minutes, and then we'll come back with more excellence. Thanks, everyone, for your likes and reposts. Consider unreposting and then reposting again. We're going to bend this Grok algorithm to our will. Thanks, everybody on YouTube as well. Good to see you over there. Streaming in both places at once. This is the second CTD experience. Tomorrow night, we're going to be conquering the summer movie review season myself, Geyser, and Mike, the voice actor. Almost said to Mercuria. That's you. De La Morte. You got a lot of days. So trying to keep it all straight in my head. So glad you guys are here. Let's take a comfort break. We'll be back shortly. Enjoy. If you guys are enjoying the tunes, these are part of my AI album exclusive to subscribers here on X. We will be back shortly. I'm here with Mike DeMercurio and Supersonic Redhead. Glad you guys are here. We'll take a brief break and be back shortly. Super grateful to have everyone back with us here. We got Mike DeMercurio. We got Supersonic Redhead. Like, that's such a great name. And I think you were telling me, Mike, dude, you're good. I mean, I guess that's why you write books and you're a writer for a living. But man, you should be like Aviator Call Sign Central. Like, you should be like the final authority on approving or disproving. In my experience with pilots,
here we go with the call signs.
Talking with pilots, right? Like, yes, pilots.
You're starting a big fight here.
There's two things,
and he doesn't even know it.
The thing is, like with call signs, right? Like pilots, they will get, they do something to earn it, and then, like, for whatever reason, it is given, right? Like I've known call signs based off of people's last names. And then off of like stupid shit they did, that's hilarious. And then sometimes they're like, yeah, you're going to need to buy me a beer to learn why I'm called. But it's fun. The aviation culture is like lighthearted. It's really in depth. Like, it's total type A personality, types. But when they're like, not in the ready room, when they're not planning a mission or debriefing, fucking great senses of humor, man. Red, you guys have such a great sense of humor, the aviation culture. Submariners, I don't know. Do you guys laugh at all? It seems like it. I'm seeing you smile a lot tonight, Mike. So, I mean, I'd like to think so. But I know Navy Surface Warfare Officer, SWOs, that's not in the vernacular.
Too. Don't listen to Super. We got call signs ourselves.
No, you don't. You have nicknames.
Yes,
those are nicknames. Yes. They're not call signs.
Yes,
everybody wants to be a pilot, but we can't all be pilots, Mikey. Those are nicknames. These are call signs. There's a difference. Okay, go.
Anyway.
Oh man, I did step into something. So we're glad you're here, guys and gals.
All day.
So we're so grateful to have everyone joining us live, because what's really fun about that is it gives you the opportunity, gives folks the opportunity, right, to interact as we are. We're pulling up their comments and commenting on them and interacting. And so whether you're on YouTube or X, if you say something and it's fitting in with what we're doing, man, we're happy to do that as part of that. So I'm seeing a comment here, Mike, that I think before we continue down the road of trailers and your take, dude, by the way, thank you for doing that, because I'm really fascinated by your takes, and I think this is really cool for people to enjoy, and not only live, but people that see this well after are really going to enjoy your takes, man. So Ella asks, what's your favorite book you've written and why? Now, obviously, this will go without spoilers, but men, please.
Very much like asking, who's your favorite child?
Good job, Ella. Good job with that question. Not sure what kind of answer we're going to get, but let's strap in.
I think my personal favorite is Dark Transit, which was the novel 10. It was the first one I wrote after a 15-year hiatus. I came back to work and wrote Dark Transit.
Whoa. You stopped writing for 15 years?
Yeah, my Voyage of the Devilfish came out in 92.
Okay.
My novel Vertical Dive came out in 2004. And then I stopped writing until 2019. And the reason is, is that every time a book got published, every time one of the, I think at the time I stopped at novel number 9. When a book would get published, I'd get sued by 3 women, 2 ex-wives and 1 ex-mistress for child support. So
not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I just got tired of paying 60% of my income in child support, and not because they didn't deserve it or because it was the wrong thing. It was just I got all these increases because I'd published a novel, and it's not like I was making offshore money, but I got sued 32 times, and I lost 30 of those. So I put my pen down and I said, I'm finished. And then in 2019, I thought, well, the youngest child is 19 now. Maybe it's time to go back to work. So I wrote Dark Transit number 10. And in answer to Ella, I need to know which one to start with. I recommend Dark Transit. It starts the second series with a guy named Anthony Pacino, who is the son of the hero of the first series. And after you kind of work your way through that, if you're really interested, you can go back to the first series and see how things came to be with the older Pacino. And in fact, our author's edition of Voyage of the Devilfish, the Titanium Coffin, does a pretty good job of showing what happened to Michael Pacino in the very beginning. The main character's father from Dark Transit.
I was watching an interview, if I may interject really quickly. You didn't name it after Al Pacino.
No, I named it after Pacino, Sicily, which is a small town in Sicily where all the DiMercurios came from.
Yes. So I just want to point that out. So just, nobody thinks that you're like trying to name drop or whatever. It's based off of a locale, eh?
Don Fine asked that he was going to have me rename the character, and that was one thing I fought him pretty hard on. I wanted that.
Well, nowadays you can pull the whole PC. Oh, that's my heritage. I'm actually not what cultural appropriation. I'm appropriating my own culture, bitch.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, before we go any further, I do have some notes here that I've done a little bit of, homework, watching interviews you've done, things you've said. I want to make sure that I catch all of that. It's just not junk food trailer stuff. But what's interesting to me is I have three things I would love to get, and if you don't remember it all, I'll go back over it. I'm just going to name them and then go with whatever your heart desires. Okay.
Okay, go.
So you had a near-death experience in sub school, so you won't go near water now. Okay. You talk about the 100-page stall, but then I'd like to talk about Stephen King was out of his fucking gorge when he wrote some of his best stuff with cocaine and alcohol and drugs and alcohol and didn't remember. And that's some of his best shit because now he's like just made fun of and just like a Karen, and you're like, what the fuck? It's like watching the bands back in the day, like, oh, go against the man. And nowadays they're like, dude, the man is so cool. I love the man. Like, fuck you. So, anyways, go ahead.
Yes, I don't know where to start with that. Let's look at Stephen King. I read all his books in the 70s, and then something happened to him after The Shining. I don't know what it was, but I
Sobriety?
don't think it was good.
No,
Was it the
seriously,
writing?
there's some books he
concepts?
wrote, and he's like, I don't seriously remember. He threw Carrie no shit in the garbage, and his wife took it out and saved Carrie from being thrown away. I shit you not.
Yeah,
He-
that's
That was a
true.
good.
That's true. And I think Christine, he didn't remember either. Basically all before a certain period of time.
Well, that could be old age. How old? He's got to be in his 70s now, right?
I'll look it up, mate. You do you. I'll look it up. I'll be like young Jamie on Jerry.
Yeah. Well, you talked about the near-death experience. That happened in Navy scuba, where we had a tank test where we were supposed to throw all the components of our stuff into a very deep pool and then put all that stuff together while instructors were punching and kicking and smacking us. And I managed to take in a double lungful of water and
Oh God.
lost consciousness and, pretty much flatlined underwater. So
Did that, if I may, ask this in all sincerity and with humility, because I've been diagnosed with it myself, and if not, that's fine. But any PTSD from that?
Not from that. If I
good.
have PTSD, it was more from serving on the submarine. I mean, I've got claustrophobia issues now. I don't like to be in spaces with a lot of people. If you saw our battle station's control room and saw 21 guys shoved into a space that's about the size of your master bathroom, you can kind of understand.
Yeah, that's not great. And plus, I doubt everyone smelled peachy.
But actually, the near-death experience was actually
if I may, is there a certain smell that brings you back into that world immediately? Because of all the five senses, the sense of smell bypasses the hippocampus. If I'm wrong, it's the hypothalamus, but bypasses one of those two and directly to your brain. So, is there something
I
you
noticed-
smell that you're like, boom, I'm back?
I don't know whether it was Baltimore. It was somewhere where there was a World War II submarine on display. And I went into it to tour it, and it smells exactly like a modern nuclear submarine. And I was right back there. The smell of a submarine is unique, and it's extremely pungent. It's very strong, and it's diesel oil, it's diesel exhaust, very sulfury exhaust, cooking grease, a little ozone from electrical equipment, a little bit of tang of sewage. And it's common to all American submarines, and it's impossible to get off your clothes when
So I
you
think
come
that's
back from an
something-
operation.
It's
just
important for
horrible.
the public to understand that service members, we may not suffer from PTSD, but there's post-traumatic stress, and there's memories, and there's smells, and there's all this shit that people don't realize. Now, that's not to say that, normal people don't have trauma and whatever. But like if you sign up for it and, hopefully it's documented, but at the same time, it just, fireworks hit different after a war versus before or whatever, right? Like it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I think Supersonic has something to say about that.
As far as fireworks and things like that, I'm pretty good for the most part. I'll tell you what tripped me up. The biggest thing that tripped me up was um I had just retired. It was 2012. I had to go to Dearborn, Michigan for business with my husband. And we're going through, and Dearborn is just like being right back there. All the signs, they're all, written in Farsi, everything. There's a lot of no-go places, that kind of thing. We went through McDonald's to get something. I was starving. And you order the chicken McNuggets, and they're like, "Do you want that halal?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding?" And then within like not even a minute, I hear to my right the call to prayer going off, and I am like, "Get me out of here right now!" And that was my only really bad time about that. I mean, after that, I was okay. When I first moved to Michigan, it was kind of funny because they test the tornado sirens like the first Wednesday of the month. And for the first few months, I'm thinking, all right, I need to run to the tarmac now. So that was a trip to get over. There's always something like that. I think everybody has a story or two like that. I would say overall, I don't have a lot of PTSD issues, but when I first came back, boy, it was rough for a while.
Yeah, so thank you first and foremost for your service. 32 years, that's a really long time. Even for military members, most like I'm going to do 20 and get out. 32, that means you enjoyed what you did, but there was definitely sacrifice in what you did. So thank you from all of us to you for that. And there's a debt that what here's what I'd like to think that I can say to people that don't understand, that have never served. Maybe you've wanted to serve and are unable and got it, or to those that do not want to serve that are able. That whenever you hear when you serve, active duty or reserve, right? You hear the national anthem. There's colors, retreat at the end of the day. There's a sacredness that in a pride. You're in a ball game and you're in civilian clothes and you put your hand over your heart and you just are always going to look at the flag a little different. You're going to feel different than those that have done that. And that's okay. Not everybody is meant to. But there's what I'm trying to say here is this conversation we're having, whether it's between submariners, whether it's between surface warfare, whether it's between aviators, right? There's a commonality, there's a common thread that Michael's done, that Red's done, that I'm doing, that so many are listening that have done, or everybody else that there's a really cool thing that we all get to experience as Americans. Can we argue over is everything that we've always done just war theory? Maybe not, right? Like we've not always hit the mark, but what we can all agree on, I think, is when we've gone and responded to what our country has asked of us, we're looking to our right and our left, at our friends, at our fellow service members, and we've dead-eyed said, I'm here for you, and we are going to make it out of this.
Yeah, that's absolutely. It's at the end of the day, who you fight for is the person on your right and is the person on your left. Absolutely. They're your brothers and your sisters.
Because, we're sent forward, and that's who we have to rely on. Whether you're on a destroyer, a frigate, a carrier, LHD, LPD, Air Force, like everybody, at a certain point, right? Like a submarine, like we all have ranks, We all have different ages. We all have different specialties. But boy, there's a moment where it's like, fuck, I need to come home because of you. And if we've not had that moment yet, it'll come. That's a very sobering moment. But it's also one of those moments that creates that bond that military will always have with one another, that civilians just, and it's not a knock, it's not throwing shade, just they won't experience or know.
Yeah, it's definitely different. What do you think, Michael?
I was muted because I'm coughing. Can you hear me now?
We can. We thought you were rapping, but that's okay.
No, I think I need you to repeat the question because I was coughing so loud I didn't hear it.
No worries. No, we're just saying people that, I don't know, Red, you probably do a better job than me. I feel like I'm tired of hearing my own voice. Before we go on to the trailers, go ahead.
I mean, basically, as far as what you were saying, yeah, there's a difference. You have an allegiance between your brothers and your sisters. You fight for who's to your left. You fight for who's to your right. That's something that a lot of people who are civilians can't really understand, but even though they do respect and love us for the most part. And I think that's what he's talking about. And I asked you what you thought.
Nailed it.
And Mikey's coughing again.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, we'll keep it.
I'm
there.
back.
Oh,
Okay.
he's back. All right. So, okay. Any comments, Mikey? And then we'll go to the trailers.
Let's go to the videotape.
Roger that. All right. I'm having so much fun. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Chat and Red and Mikey. I'm enjoying this immensely. Okay, so here we go. Ready or not, here we come. This is Hunt for the Red October.
The most brilliant commander in the Soviet Navy.
Ramey has trained most of their officer corps. He's nearly a legend in the submarine community.
The most deadly submarine ever built.
This thing could park a couple of hundred warheads off Washington. Nobody'd know a thing about it until it was all over.
And once more, we play our dangerous game with our old adversaries, the American Navy.
His plan is a mystery.
A man with your responsibilities reading about the end of the world.
Apparently, he has suffered a kind of nervous breakdown in which he announced his intention to fire his missiles on the United States.
We want us to help you hunt him down, kill him.
Open the outer doors, firing point procedures. We sail into history.
I'm gonna blow him right to Mars. Ramius might be trying to defect.
You're just an analyst. What can you possibly know what goes on in his mind?
I'll give you 3 days to prove your theory correct. I am not field personnel. I am only an analyst.
You're perfect.
I'm expendable. He's defecting. Willing to bet your life on that?
From the best-selling novel by Tom Clancy. From the director of Die Hard.
Give this man a chance.
My orders are specific. Battle stations.
Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin, James Earl Jones, Scott Glenn, Sam Neill. The Hunt for Red October.
I mean, hold on. Let's just listen to that. Hold on.
Connery.
Mikey
Alec
is not
Baldwin,
smiling.
My orders are specific. Battle stations.
Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin, James Earl Jones, Scott Glenn, Sam Neill. The Hunt.
Sean Connery. It was like, let's just name everybody fucking amazing. Sam Neill, R.I.P. That makes me fucking sad. That kind of bums me out
I like him.
Anyways, but like, I think Sean Connery's hairpiece, I don't know, the trailer shows it off. His hairpiece, I think, was $20K. There it is. Let's go with that. Yeah, $20K was his hairpiece for this movie. But yeah, Mikey, let it rip, Tater Chip.
You know, I liked the movie until it got to the part where they were signaling with Morse code through the periscopes. And that was, number one, completely inaccurate. Number two, lazy writing. They should have written their way out of that, because nobody's going to put a a flashing light on a periscope. You're supposed to be stealthy, right? You're not going to be flashing something out of the periscope. And even if you could flash something out of the periscope, the thought that the captain would know Morse code and be that conversant in it to do 60 words a minute is bullshit. And the idea that the Russians would know A, English, and B, Morse code, and C, it 60 words a minute. I mean, at some point, there's a record scratch and you can't watch it anymore. It's too dumb. So that's pretty much where I stopped watching.
I think, okay, so if I may, what I'm noticing is, you've got military movies, right? You've got like Marine Corps movies, you got Army movies, you got Air Force movies, there's even some Coast Guard, but like submarine movies, the culture is so minute compared, and knowledge base of the culture is so unknown that like the movie industry can kind of get away with anything. It sounds like, based on our conversation tonight, and it kind of pisses me off. Like they're like, oh, who's gonna know? Like, who's served as a Marine or a sailor that's a submariner? Well, not many, right? But like, the fact that they're gonna like intentionally not care this much, that's a really fucking crazy thing.
They needed a good.
Does that make sense? Is that a good? Is that like a fair assessment? Would you say?
Well, it's obvious that they had a good technical advisor and at some point fired the guy because they needed the story to go a certain direction. And like I say, it's lazy writing because a good scriptwriter could figure out a way to do what needed to be done without them doing that.
But one example they have to understand your community, though. They could be a great scriptwriter, but what I'm saying is, like, you've lived it. Unless you've lived the submarine community, like, I don't know that anybody's just gonna like, throw a dot at a dartboard and like kind of come near what's real. Does it make sense?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, we talked about this. I'm sorry.
No, I
had discussed this before with my mom, who is a famous screenwriter, and I agree with Michael. They changed screenwriters. You can tell they did. They did. They got kind of lazy, and they did have, from the beginning, and I think Michael will agree about this, they did have some pretty good consultants from what I understand. And then suddenly it was like, well, let's just do this to hurry it up, and let's make 20 minutes 5 or whatever. That seemed to have happened with this one. And actually, that's a pretty common thing that occurs.
If I may, from an outsider, we're just watching these trailers and listening to your comments. I'm like, anybody that's done a submarine movie are taking a lot of liberties because they're like, nobody fucking knows this shit. Respectfully, right?
Right.
You may have technical advisors here and there, but like if you were to watch a military movie in the last 15 years, 20 years, like their shit's way more wired. Or TV shows, because it's like, ooh, you've got the internet, you've got social media, you've got this, that, the other. They're going to light people up. Back then, nobody's doing that. So I feel kind of like, I feel cheated as a moviegoer, right? And that's a fraction of what you two must feel like shit. Because again, this community, most people are like, wait, what's this? I don't know. Okay. My knowledge is based off of what I'm seeing. So that's why I'm actually going through these trailers. I'm being sneaky, Mikey, in going through these trailers, asking for your opinion, because you're kind of like educating everyone in a very entertaining way about the submarine community, because nobody has a fucking clue except for you guys. And I want to give you a voice. So I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Well, again, that's why I like Ice Station Zebra.
Okay.
Now, you said you had a trailer originally spooled up for Crimson Tide, but put it aside. Maybe we got to throw it up there and take it apart.
Okay, listen, I'm trying to be respectful of everyone's time, but it sounds like everybody's having a good time. Don't threaten me with a good time. So, okay, give me a sec, mate. Okay, your job is to vamp and be entertaining while I do this. So go ahead, give me like 45 seconds. All right, that silence that we're hearing is not a good start.
No, I was.
Mikey, Red, Mikey, talk about something. Go.
Go ahead, Mikey.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So tell me how much you like having backstories deleted out of your books. I mean,
oh my god, the backstory is some of the best stuff.
I like the backstory the first 1 or 2 times, but when we are 15 books through, I don't need to hear the character's backstory for the 15th time for 5 pages.
But Chino was 8 years old when the first Chinese Civil War kicked off.
I gotcha.
And the white Chinese broke out of Shanghai into central China.
Pacino does no wrong. You know that.
I love writing that stuff. And you're like, no, you need to take out the backstories.
Oh, no. Don't start with the white voice. Don't do it, because I'll start with the St. Bernard voice. Oh my God, what are you doing?
How is it you guys don't have your own podcast? I don't understand. This is insanely entertaining. This is amazing. All right, I've got the trailer pulled up. You guys, y'all are ready. This is awesome. You guys ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
All right. I'm so interested. Listen. All right. So I'm just gonna prime you, Mike. Right? Right. So you're gonna have to go against what you are going against are the people that are like, that's my Denzel. And then you're going against the people that are like, oh, fuck, that's Gene Hackman. Oh, and he's very confident and has a little dog because he has proved himself in combat. So you're going against, he loves dogs and he takes his dog on board. So you're having to overcome some very high barriers out of the gate, which again is not against you, just preparing you. But here we go. This I think was hailed as a certain product because when they're on the bridge, like they had, oh look, we can tilt shit on a soundstage, like they tooted their own horn. Anyways, here we go.
As you no doubt heard, my XO has appendicitis. Your name was at the top of the list.
Well, that's good to know, sir.
It was a short list.
There's trouble in Russia. So they called us. And we're going over there and bringing the most lethal killing machine ever devised.
The last time we hit this state of emergency was 32 and a half years ago during the Cuban Missile Crisis. So this is what it's all about, gentlemen. It's what we train for.
Emergency ship.
Diving officer, submerge the ship, make your depth 150 feet.
On the 1MC. Dive.
We have a properly formatted emergency action message from National Command Authority.
What we've always known
Bravo, Echo, Charlie, Alpha.
becomes what we've always feared.
Gentlemen, this is the captain. Russian rebels have threatened to launch against our country and are fueling right now. This is not a drill.
Now,
Sir, we have a possible submerged submarine.
You find out who that is.
Receiving emergency action message. Recommend alert 1.
the battle for survival begins.
That's a message fragment.
Sir, we don't know what this message means. Our target package could have changed.
I've made a decision.
There's no place for fear.
He's lost his nerve.
I'd rather go out myself and get this one wrong.
There's no room for mistakes.
If we launch and we're wrong, what's left of Russia is going to launch at us.
I'm captain of this boat. I don't have...
Holy shit, that's Aragorn. Hold on, I just gotta stay 1 second.
No,
oh my god, that's
on the
Aragorn.
left there is Tony Soprano. You see Tony Soprano
Oh
on
my
the left?
god, yes. Oh shit.
And we're wrong. What's left of Russia is going to launch at us.
I'm captain of this boat. I don't have to think this over.
There's no time for doubt.
Missile systems ready to launch in 6 minutes.
You repeat this order or I'll find somebody who will.
Hell no, you won't, sir. And nothing can stop the tide.
Sonar torpedoes in the water!
Right full rudder.
1,000 yards of closing dive! Make your depth 1,200 feet! Hang on, everybody!
There we
We cannot launch our missiles unless both you and I agree.
They're fueling our missiles.
He's right on top of us.
Place command. No, under arrest, under charge of mutiny.
Roger, ready? Lock Captain Ramsey in his stateroom. Fire one, now!
Give me the missile key, Mr. Hunter. Sir, we are going down. I'm the commander of this ship. Crimson Tide. God help you if you're wrong.
If I'm wrong, then we're at war. God help us all.
Dude, I gotta say, this trailer is fucking great. I acknowledge what you're about to say and just absolutely, pun intended, torpedo it, but fucking A. So good. All right, Mikey, let it rip, man.
I don't even know where to start with this thing. You know? Okay, let's start
okay,
with
so if I can say this, I think what sells this, honestly, right? So you have Ice, what is it? Ice Station Zebra, or what was it? Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. So you have like great actors, and then like you can definitely tell the miniatures. And then this is like, oh, the special effects are fucking awesome. So I think that helps to really, really sell it on another level. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's start with the fact that when they submerge the ship, first of all, the XO gives the order. Denzel. No, the XO doesn't give the order to submerge the ship. That's the officer of the deck, who's usually about a 23-year-old lieutenant or a lieutenant junior grade. Second, when you submerge the ship, you don't have people running all over the place. Emergency, crash dive. Oh my God. No, it's not a goddamn U-boat, okay? It's a modern ballistic missile submarine. You open the vents, and it takes a long time to get it under, okay? That's just how it is. It's not exciting. It's fucking boring, okay? Yeah. And then let's go to the core problem with this movie. When you get a valid emergency action message, you don't argue about it. You don't piss about it. You don't debate about it. You fucking launch. That's what you do. That's what an emergency action message that's validated does. That's what it is. There's no Denzel, oh, we need to see if our orders have changed. No, come on. Please.
So you would say
that
he is definitely the worst XO.
Denzel would be in chains and engine room lower level. Okay, there'd be none of this rebellion bullshit. He'd be down there.
Well, that's my thing. That's my thing with this whole entire movie from beginning to end. The military structure, the protocol, even me, just a lowly pilot, not a submariner, knows better that this would not happen in real life. There's no damn way. No way.
I mean, Jason from the chat says Gene and Denzel sell it. And that's my point. Like you've got two of the now Denzel was up and coming, Gene obviously cemented, and I think that might be part of the problem your community is dealing with is you've got a goated actor and an up and coming actor making their selves even better based off of things that are not fact, and that's a problem.
Hey, let's just look at the good side. Tony Soprano was on board.
He was. So are these yellow lights a thing, or am I imagining not?
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
No.
So it's got to look good. So like here we are again. Is that a thing on a sub? The blue and red and green lights like
that's
this?
That's the other bullshit thing. If somebody launches a torpedo at you, you have no idea how far away it is. No idea. You can't say, oh, it's at 1,000 yards and closing. You have no idea. You have no idea. You know what direction it's coming from. It could be anywhere. Morons. Ugh.
Well, you can't fault, right? You can't fault civilians for not knowing this. And that, Mike, this is why.
Well, actually,
you can
because they have.
Hold on
they
one
can
second.
have a technical advisor who tells them, no, that's bullshit. Get that out of the script.
I understand, but this is why I'm so grateful to have you here tonight. We have almost 400 people joining us live on X alone. Thank you for being here because, we don't know this world, right? We assume, right, as outsiders, Gene Hackman is joining. He's a captain. That we ought to like that alone brings pull. He's read the script, it's been vetted. The only way he would choose to take this role is because he agreed that this is the way it actually is. And what we're learning tonight is you're like, yeah, no, not even
either
close.
for money or because he had a contractual obligation to make the next movie.
Right.
Which, when you study Hollywood, you find out a lot of these crappy movies that have good actors in them, they're in there because they have a contractual obligation to make movie number 3.
Right.
And they don't get a choice what movie number 3 is. And
So
let's just go to the fact that he is as old as a 3-star admiral, not as a bird captain
Fair enough.
for a nuclear submarine. Okay. So
That's
it's just, you got like 50 striations going down your neck. You're not a submarine captain. Okay. No.
That's fair. But I think that, Red, you and I can agree, right? Like military movies, it's like what puts butts in seats primarily. And facts don't always take a front row seat. But what I'm saying is, and why I'm so grateful the two of you are here tonight, and we're having a great time. I love this. At the same time, is we're like, the most unknown, I would argue, tell me if you think I'm wrong. I would argue the most unknown cultural community in the military is the submarine community. Not because of lack of movies, right? Because you've got a lot of special forces movies. You got Delta Force, you've got the SEALs movies, whatever. But the fact that they goober up the culture so poorly that they're like, fuck, they actually wait, is this on purpose? That everybody doesn't understand the submarine culture at all? Like that's kind of how I feel. Like the UFO thing. Like it's just we're sprinkling in so much inaccuracy just to fuck with people so that nobody knows how great America is underwater.
Well, it is the silent service.
Yeah, I was just going
right?
to say it's the silent service. And the other thing is when they make these movies, it's, pride in country type of thing, pride in military, especially the Top Gun movies. That was like the single best recruiting tool, I believe the first one ever was for the Navy. Although a lot of people thought, no kidding, that Top Gun was an Air Force movie. Look it up. It's true. But
It
they
was
took-
supposed to be. The Air Force passed, if you can
I
believe.
know. Yeah. We're not so great at some things. But as far as this one it drives me crazy because of the protocol. But see, the thing is, I work for the Air Force and for the Navy, so long story there. But anyway, and I actually had more fun at the Navy than I did the Air Force. I think.
I am not surprised because the Navy is awesome. Would you agree, Mikey?
Yeah.
Just ask us, we'll tell you.
But yeah, this one was something else. And I'm like, they were trying for good cinematography. No, not good cinematography. No. Just no. Anyway, okay, next.
Just no. Not only no, but just no. Okay. All right. So we're coming in for a landing here. Mikey, US 4. Can I call you Mikey? Is that okay? It's on your Yeah, I love that, man. I appreciate that. I feel like a bit of a privilege. Thank you, sir. We got 2 things left. I feel like I want to mention them. I don't want to save them for a surprise. I want it to be like, hey, this is what's happening, and I think it's cool. So I've got, let me make sure I've got it all good to go. Okay, I've got the down. All right, down Periscope is the 2 rounds I've left in the chamber. The trailer and anything you want to mention, but then the fucking anchors away scene, and it's just I feel like that's how I'm gonna end the stream tonight. Is the anchors away moment? We can just nobody has to sing, but just that's great. But I just want to give you a little bit of the blueprint because we've been at this for almost 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
Who knew?
It's almost
Who knew
all-
we could talk this long? No, watching the movies was really fun. This has been a blast for me to do it again.
I'm going to be very selfish in saying that this is not uncommon for my guests to say, wow, I didn't realize we've been talking this long. And it seemed like a short amount of time. I take an immense amount of pride in hearing that because it lets me know that you guys are having a good fucking time. And that's all I care about. So I'm glad you're here. Do we need to take a comfort break, or are we good to go to power through and do this? You tell me. I'm good either way.
Knock it out.
Okay.
Knock
All
it
right.
out, baby.
So here we go. Don't threaten me with a good time. So here we are. All right. Oh, man. This is so fun. Here's okay, listen, guys, gals. If you're curious what I've ever, okay, listen, I can only go off of what I've ever heard. All right. This is what I've ever heard is a thing. And that is that Down Periscope is the most accurate and most favorite movie of the Submariner community. Let's watch the trailer, and we'll get Mikey's reaction because I am dying to know because I fucking love this movie. Let's go.
The Navy has just assigned the USS Stingray a new crew.
Get your hands off of me!
In military technology.
Oh, it's a little tickle.
Dedicated to teamwork and camaraderie.
There was a fingernail in my food yesterday. It was a Band-Aid!
I'm sorry, sir. Band-Aid was holding the fingernail on.
And they're about to get the leader they truly deserve.
Third in his class at sub school.
We're dead.
Cited for tactical excellence.
We have a shooting solution.
He's one of the Navy's finest.
Fire one! Oh, get up there, you miserable little puke.
Lieutenant Commander Thomas Dodge.
I'm here to pick up my new submarine. So do you need anything from me? Driver's license, credit card?
There she is right now. Your new boat.
No disrespect to the USS Rust-Oleum here, but this is ridiculous.
Now, together.
It's the crew from hell. What do you think about our boat, Pascal?
I feel I need a tetanus shot just from looking at it.
They'll rise to any challenge.
Lieutenant Blake, you're almost out of uniform.
I never saw anything like that on one of them big nukes.
And prepare for the mission.
You're going to clean up the Stingray and take her out.
What's our mission? Rescue Gilligan?
That will make their careers.
These men love me!
Don't go by the book. Think like a pirate.
Let's kick this pig!
One rebel diesel.
Prepare for dive!
Does he mean underwater?
Against the U.S. nuclear navy.
Torpedoes are high.
You are targeted.
Battle stations.
Negative!
Up against incredible odds.
We're on it, sir! All handful!
It's up to the crew of the USS Stingray.
It's the Orlando.
All hands, we are now going silent.
To use their unique talents.
Hear something? Sounds like a whale.
With a false alarm.
To beat the Navy at their own.
Fire two! What?
War game.
Sweet!
20th Century Fox presents the movie The Navy. Want you to see.
You ever hear of the Mild Tea Club? You ever hear of a salad bar?
Kelsey Grammer.
Polishing the old torpedo, sir.
God, I love this job!
Down Periscope.
What are you doing?
As little as possible, sir.
Buckman! Let's out!
Thank you, Buckman. That'll be all.
Oh my God, what a great fucking movie. I'm just gonna opine here, Mikey. Just hang tight, mate. I just my take.
Pick up my new submarine.
Okay, so if I may, I just want to say I think that Down Periscope is Star Trek's Galaxy Quest. It is, in all intents and purposes, a Navy movie without being a Navy movie. Like it's a Star Trek movie without being a Star Trek movie. It follows it in every respectable manner.
One rebel
Of like just in the spirit, in the love, the care. Just it's so amazing. So I just want to leave it there. Mikey, let it rip, tater chip, mate.
Well, it's McHale's Navy for submarines, right? I mean, it's a comedy from start to finish. None of it's accurate, but you know, it's like you say, accuracy is not part of the the starting block for a movie like this.
I beg to differ with you, Mikey. So the part where the guy parks his car in somebody else's parking spot, can we talk about that for a minute? And who actually did that at the Naval Academy? Yes,
No.
tell. Yes.
No.
Don't make me tell.
Never happened. I was never there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he parked, what was it, your Camaro? Yes.
Oh, I forgot to bring that up. You're right.
That never happened. I was never there.
Okay, continue, Mikey.
No, I mean, look, it's fun when you got a guy saying, "I need a guy with a tattoo on his dick." I mean, sure, that's funny as hell, but that's never going to happen, right?
Well,
So,
so I'd like you to open. Have you seen Galaxy Quest?
no, I have not.
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
we should come back and watch Galaxy
So
Quest with Mikey. That would be
I
so
feel like,
funny.
yep, I feel like that's a hole in the game plan. Okay, so let me give you the cliff notes, right? So Galaxy Quest stars Tim Allen, Alan Rickman, the guy who played not Lowell. Who's the taxi guy in Wings? Tony Shalhoub. Anyways, so Galaxy Quest is a fictional sci-fi cast like Star Trek. So imagine like Captain Kirk, Uhura, Spock, whatever. Like they've run out of gas and they're doing like come and to this Kmart because their specials are out of this world. That's what the actors are being hired for. And then like actual aliens are have watched all of their episodes thinking they're historical tapes, and then they beam them up and then assume that they can help them with an actual real world alien thing. So I don't want to give any more away, but like Alan Rickman is a treasure because he plays like Spock, but he also plays Alan Rickman, who doesn't like Tim Allen, but Spock doesn't like Kirk because he doesn't think he's a good actor or whatever. Anyways, so that's like the whole thing here is like the parallel between Galaxy Quest but if you've not seen it, mate, I don't know that I can explain it or do it any other justice. Red, salvage anything I'm trying to say here. But go ahead.
Without ruining it, that's about as much as you can tell him because, as I said, we should watch it with him and watch his response because it is
Yes.
hilarious. That is a
Yes.
funny movie. You would like it, Mikey.
I am sensing a subscriber movie watch party. Got it. All right. Taking aboard. Here we go. I love it. No, it's all good. So, I may have just closed the window. I accidentally meant to not. Give me a second here. I'm reopening it. So, anyways, I have something I want to end things on. Before I do, I want to give Red, you, obviously Mikey, talk about everything you have going on. Let everybody know all the things, and then we'll go to what I'm thinking. Over to you.
Well, Mikey?
well, I think the things we're doing, that the first thing is the author's edition of Voyage of the Devilfish, the Titanium Coffin is out. And that one is, it's getting good reviews and a lot of enthusiasm on X. The most recent book just before that was Line of the Seven Seas. When did that come out, Red?
It came out on my birthday last year, November 25th.
Yeah, so not that long ago. We're working on 14 now, which is we can't reveal the title because somebody will steal it. And then I'm writing 15. So that and trying to figure out how to ride this trike. That's what I'm up to.
And writing your autobiography. I am editing 14 and I have to finish the cover, which is really cool for 14. And I think that's about it. And then we have a limited number left of the collector's edition, the hardcovers for Lion of the Seven Seas. Excuse me, Voyage of the Devilfish. Anyway, there you go. It's been a long night, but it's been fun.
Yeah, the one that's available on House of Demon Curio comes inscribed by Red, myself, and Joe, the narrator.
And I made 6 drawings that are in there too that you can't get with the original book. They're all printed on museum quality paper, and it's actually pretty special. It's a pretty cool thing. So, yeah.
No, very cool. So yeah, guys, Michael DeMercurio, right? And you've got the person that's intimately involved in his success as well, Supersonic Red. We're having a great time here tonight. Thank you both for your time. And I'm so enthralled that we're approaching 3 hours and you guys are like, wait, what? We've had a really, I'd like to think, man, we had a really fun time tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. I love the parts where Mikey is like really smiling, he's all animated and happy. He's like, oh, he likes the movie. And then the
I
next line is,
know, right?
and then
Just
they
saying.
get to Hunt for Red October,
Just
and it's like,
saying.
I am at somebody's funeral. I hate this movie.
We've learned so much. So let's watch this. This is a tribute to the Navy, and then we'll close out officially. But I just wanted everybody to just know that we have over 400 people joining us here live on X. Just a fun time. Thank you everybody for your interactions. You've seen we've brought up your chats. So, and as Navy sailors, all right. Sorry, Red. Just have to stay over there and sing along, mumbling under your breath. But
I want
Mike
Mikey
and
to
I.
stand up and sing. Mikey has to stand up and sing.
So here we go. This is a very fun, right? So whenever you're at a ceremony, for those that don't understand, whenever you're at a military ceremony, they'll normally play like the Air Force, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Army. Who did I leave out? The Coast Guard, whatever. Like, and it's expected to kind of sing. So this is why this scene is in the movie. It may seem weird that it's in the movie, but if you're a Navy sailor, you're like, I get it. This is why. So with much joy, I want to put this out there. We're going to have fun watching it. It's not long, but we're going to fucking celebrate. Here we go. Anchors away.
All right, gentlemen, let's kick this pig.
Navy out to sea, but a battle cry. Well, now it's Navy. Oh, second verse. Got it. All right, I'm going to run that back because I thought it was the first verse. It's wrong, and I'm just going to shut my mouth and just fucking watch. Well, you are not wrong, mate. We did beat the shit out of the Imperial Japanese. It took us a minute to get our footing. Midway, by all means, it's very rare for me to recommend. Besides, like Independence Day, Emerald Remick, or what's his name? Sorry. Who directed Independence Day?
I don't remember.
I'm currently Roland Emmerich. I just couldn't roll it off my tongue. Roland Emmerich, Midway. Watch that shit. It is so good. Yes. How it was a battle between Army and Navy, 4-star, 5 stars. Between, yes, we're going to use Midway as a carrier landing And anyways, it's a whole thing. So anyways, all right. I want to give Red, you, and then Mikey, then the last word, and I will send everybody off with our closing tune. It's a custom AI tune for this program. So Red, please regale us with anything you would like to say. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's late for you on the East Coast. I hope you had fun.
Oh, no, thank you so much. This has been awesome. We definitely have to do it again. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you around on X.
Don't threaten us with a good time. Mikey, go ahead, mate.
It's been great being here. I appreciate it. We've got lots of sea stories we haven't even gotten to yet, so maybe we'll have to do this again.
Well, listen, mate, a sea story, CTD experience. Oh, man, dude, that would be... And think who we could recruit to we could have up to 10 people in on this. So that's fun. Some super bit of fun. Guys, please go check out Micah DiMercurio. You guys will see the links on YouTube and on X. Go buy his stuff. He's a great author. He's a super experienced. As you can see, good people. And let's support him. Thank you both for your night, your time, and until next time, we'll catch you guys on the timeline, okay?
All right. Good night, Al.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Neon sign is buzzing low. The bartender's ready to go. I'm sitting here with one last glass, watching the lonely hours pass. It's last call. Yeah, the party's through. Just me and my memories of you. One more round for the road ahead, with all the words we never said. Just one